All right. Greetings. We are Fellowship Gaming, here to entertain you with yet another tale of daring, disaster, and dimwits. So please grab your favorite drink and perhaps a snack. Let us regale you with songs of our misdeeds. Today we are playing Pathfinder, Second Edition, which is a high fantasy D20 system. If you would like to see more content, please check us out on YouTube at fellowshipgaming.quest, where you can subscribe and hit that bell notification. If you would like to join us during our live stream, head over to Twitch and give us a follow in order to be a part of our live chat. And on that, I'm gonna turn it over to Justin to continue our
Alrighty.
game.
Last time we played, you guys had investigated the library in this ancient, secret underground smuggling operation in the underneath an ancient lighthouse on the edge of the shallow sea. Coming up through here with your the guards for the caravan you are taking this job from, and going through a dangerous area during a dangerous time. They are hired more security, which you guys elected for to make some money over the course of a month. And on the last stop, which ventured really far into dangerous territory, you found that more zombies had come out of the shallow sea and had invaded the secret lighthouse base, with also the I've forgotten the name again. Smart Zerks, named by named by Komarov, in his native tongue. These insectoid creatures that have a sort of parasitic life cycle where they implant their eggs and or larvae into a humanoid body, and then over the course of days or weeks, it hatches into sort of this big insect thing that spits acid and has like this huge barbed tail. You found them in conflict here, yeah, and you guys are into what feels like it's the last area. Leoxandra, Komarov's husband, and a medic surgeon heard chanting from the other side of this wall, which is a secret door, and Tivin thinks it is some sort of long-standing ritual. Um, and that is where we are now. You guys have just been attacked by one of the Smutzerks and their sort of thralls. You aren't specifically aware of how all that works, but they seem to have some more or less normal-looking humans, or humanoids. The art I'm using is all humans because it's just easier. um, but having fought them off, you're now here. How do you want to approach this last room or last set
Um,
of rooms?
very carefully, because I'm completely out of healing spells now. Do we want to go through the secret door?
I think so.
Because that might give us a better chance at surprise.
That's what
I
I'm
agree.
thinking too. Yeah.
Well, we saw what happened. Because the doorway has markings on it similar to the other doorway, right?
Which doorway?
The one before B12. You said it had markings on it.
The one that had markings on it was the one over here in B8.
Oh, I thought you said
The
this door had the same markings, but I guess not. That's fine.
No, this one was just blocked by one of the giant zombies.
Yeah.
Big dude. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, no
it,
worries. Tippin would feel more at home with the, I don't want to call it a tunnel, but tunnel basically, obviously.
We've been underground this whole time.
Yeah. Well, I only get a +1 to survival checks while underground. I'm only level 4, Casey. Stop. No, I'm kidding.
We're all only level 4.
That's fair.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys line up at the secret door entrance here. You've got kind of a lot of people coming in. Do you want to converse with the guards? Katya and her sort of fellows here are very willing to sort of. You guys have been taking all the hits. They don't have magic. They're like, she's good with a bow, but they're like, we fight animals, basically, and like and like shoo away would be
Yeah.
teenage thieves for the most part. So,
I,
but if you want them to behave in a certain way, they will absolutely take your
yeah.
advice.
I think as a patrol guard, caravan guard, and whatever we are taking, I think just asking them to guard this entrance, where the S is, so that nothing can kind of like come through the back way.
Flank us. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, like the last couple combats, we didn't really have their help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
that is. Yeah, they were union mandated 15-minute break. The fights just don't last that long.
No.
They're still on it.
No, because I've had to refocus at least once
You
already.
guys have. Yeah, you guys have been hanging out long enough, doing your medicine and refocusing your praying to your abilities to recharge them. That they're like, they've all eaten their sandwich and drink their like canned coffee, the cold canned coffee, or whatever the equivalent would be. Yeah, so Katya points at the door there. She's being really quiet now. So the chanting that Tivin and Leoxandra had identified isn't quite at that like fever pitch, but it is sort of accelerating. Whatever is happening, like you definitely had the 10 minutes to hang out. But now it does feel like now you don't need a perception check to hear what's going on. So like the volume has increased. That feels like a turning point in some way. So the two guards are going to come here and sort of watch this door. They sort of walk in and straddle this doorway to look. They know they can see there's another doorway on the other side of this.
Don't
And
they?
Katya
Oh,
will.
yeah. They don't know this place entirely.
Yeah, these guys are delivery people that are like taking cuts
They're the
from
UPS
whoever was
drivers.
working here. Yeah. So they're like, we'll take the bribe, not tell anyone, and we'll go off like the trail, but we don't we don't come down here. So they don't know the layout super well. They're just sort of like, had some familiar faces that they would deal with. One of which who is dead. You have his weapon. All right,
Yeah.
who wants to go in first?
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
Tivin, and I think he goes
Yeah.
with shield raised.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Ever stand stance if I'm allowed, but no. Shield raised all the time. Because I hit with it, so why wouldn't?
Yeah, of course. All right, so Tivin in the hole.
Sorry.
Tivin in the hole. Leoxandra is going to definitely not go in first. Leoxandra is like, I'm sort of like an errand boy mostly. I stitch the wounds and I sort of will throw a knife every once in a while. So,
Yeah.
go team.
Get behind me. What you want to say out here?
Has anyone heard way behind you? Yeah, absolutely.
Can you
has
throw
anyone
a
heard
dagger
from
and heal me
Brian?
from a distance? No? Then ride my ass, dude.
It's like, I only got so many of those in me a day. We've already done you.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, battle medicine's done for
That's okay.
Tivin and I think Pomerov.
If Tivin dies, a twin brother exemplar will come back.
All right. Mike, have you heard from Brian?
Not yet.
Oh no. All right.
Ah,
I think he worked last night, so he might have been.
he might be out.
Yeah,
Oh, that sucks. All right.
it's fine. Do any of us have permissions with?
I think all of us have permissions.
Yeah, I think
No,
Komarov's.
I
Nope.
can see Bird, Magnus, myself, and Cormo. I don't have access to Komarov.
Nope.
Yeah,
That,
I
that's why
can't
I
grab
asked.
his token.
All right, that's good.
All right.
As long as one of us do, and we don't do anything crazy, I think we'll be okay. Remember, he's orcish and stodgy and standoffish, and also
Yeah.
married to like Leah Sandra. I mean,
Yeah, I think I gave everyone permission for the sheet, but I think the
it's all
way
good.
he plays isn't that like there's way more complicated ways to play a kineticist.
Yeah,
I don't think he has any of
heal
the
a little
like.
bit, hit with a stone or water blade, and then
Yeah.
call it good.
Yeah, he's mostly strike, so I think I can, for the most part, direct those. Um, and you guys can ask him to do stuff. He'll come around because he's got a few ranged options. He'll sort of come around here with Magnus. All right. So on the other side, the inside of this second door is not a hidden thing, not to you. Oh, that is and hidening things. I need to and revealing things. All right. So we're going to I'm going to let everyone take one action since you're going into a situation with more knowledge. So everyone gets one action. Tivin, that can be Everstand's stance.
I won't say no.
Um, so anyone else have like buff or action they want to take or like any knowledge checks they want to make? Sort of as the door opens, you're sort of, or you could just use a movement. Just like one action is sort of like how I've interpreted a lack of a surprise condition. It's just like you still get the jump on them. Nothing nuts though.
Yeah. There's a lot of common zombies in there.
Yeah,
The
there
problem
are.
is they're two big ones, and those guys hurt.
Yeah.
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 So, Tivin, you crack the door open, getting ready to rush in. Everyone's sort of prepared for this. You see immediately on this altar in this sort of room that looks like it would have been like a meeting room. Like there's like maps and there's like people's items sort of scattered around, and they've cleared off one of these benches. And this one zombie wearing a robe, it looks waterlogged, hairless, significantly older than a lot of the other zombies that you've
This one?
seen come through. Yes, that one there has pieces of one of the Smertzerks laid out sort of in the way it should be, but like it feels like they've just sort of the ones they've killed, they've picked the biggest pieces and laid them out here, and it looks like he's trying to raise it. Nobody here speaks the language of the dead. Is that correct?
Necrol,
No.
no.
No, I don't think so. But I feel like intuitively you see what's happening, but you don't get any um context from what he's saying. But he's like hands
I
raised over
mean,
his head.
religion check, I feel, would probably get it with a harder DC because
Oh yeah, absolutely.
religious stuff is.
So
Religious
yeah,
stuff
that
is
can
religious.
yeah, that can be your action here before initiative kicks off if you want to do that.
Sure. God, I don't like going into this with two lay on hands.
Did Magnus want to make any checks or do any preparations or like draw any special items before this?
No, once I see that going up, I will just throw up my shield just to be safe for this
Okay.
first little bit.
Yeah, so you start with a preemptive shield. Katha, do you want to roll that religion check? Try to figure out.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks, Ty.
I mean, it could be a lot of things. I think Katha is like really preoccupied with like how hard it's been to just full through so many combats here. Like this is like the littlest war zone where people had like taken different rooms and like were in just this conflict with each other for like potentially days, just sort of doing like sort of like how cats fight where they like slap at each other and then run away. It
Yeah.
feels like this sort of been like that. A zombie would run in and the insect would tear him apart, and then maybe some more zombies would come out of the ocean, and they got a couple of them. So he's laid out a bunch of these pieces of shells together, and he's chanting over it, hands over his head. There's a great axe sort of next to him, propped up against this sort of small table, and there are and you can tell the other zombies are like they look like they've been stitched up better than the previous ones, but otherwise they don't seem to be intelligent. Like this guy's speaking and like doing magic. The other ones look like the ones you fought before.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and everyone roll initiative.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta have my character sheet.
It helps.
It does. Oh. You're right.
Okay, Pomeroth.
Buttons.
Oh.
Pomeroth River is he good at stealth? He's not good at stealth.
No, he's not stealthy. He thinks he is, but he's really not.
He wants perception. So that's you guys. I rolled for everyone else earlier. Okay. So you guys all prepare to come in. Tivin kicks the door open. And the zombie lord looks at you guys and sort of in this like deep voice that it sounds like whispering, but it projects right into the little hallway that's there. And he says like, more bodies to fight the cause. If you're on the side of and he gestures to the chitinous sort of mound in front of him, insects, you will serve to also lead us to the hive. And he is actually going to just. Actually, that spell doesn't work.
What language would be insect? That's interesting. I'm just curious off the top. I know they don't have one, but like in Starfinder, the insects have languages. I wonder if Pathfinder would have one. What is it, Sheeran? No, that's telepathic.
I think Shirin is also a language. The Shirin are telepathic.
Yeah, you've got to have a language.
Yeah, they have both.
I was just curious. That's all. I'm sorry, I went off tangent there.
No, it's all good. So he uses one action to like equip his axe that had been set aside, and then he casts a spell. Everyone, go ahead and make me a Fortitude save. And actually, straight up, everyone. Magnus, that is bad. Kay thought you are good.
Not a crit fail or just a regular fail?
That is. It is just barely a critical fail.
All right, then I'll. Let's see. Or do we have hero points back?
Yes.
Then I will try that.
Jesus.
Are
Same
you
number.
kidding?
Oh,
No.
that is rough.
Oh. I'm of the firm believer that if you spend a hero point to reroll a saving throw and you get the same result, you should keep the hero point but keep the result. That's
interesting.
My God.
Yeah, we can talk about that after the session. I think I've thought something similar. Okay.
Is that
Did
Brian?
I hear someone come into the chat?
I think so.
Voice channel?
Oh,
Brian's awake.
Brian made it.
Yay, he's alive! Just
You
in time
okay,
for
man?
I mean,
You might be our healer this one.
Yeah, just
you doing okay,
great.
Brian?
Yeah, I just woke up. I was like, what? I can't be hearing my mom back from church already. Oh no. So I'm here.
It's all good.
Yeah, shake it out, man. We're good. Also, I rolled for your character, and he's about to take a bunch of damage. Sorry. It's not the craziest amount of damage. Like Mike's absolutely gonna get rocked, but
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I could have done way worse. So everyone takes. So Tivin will take half. Geatholth takes none. Magnus will take double. Komarov will take the full amount. So it's 8 void damage. As he holds his hands out, and just sort of the area in your, basically the area that is the aura around Geatholth is just all of the life energy is sucked into a singular point, and then like a little implosion comes out from there, like shaking your guys' literal spirits. Oh, I didn't roll for Alexandra. He is in that. Alexandra takes the full amount, so he takes 8. Okay. That is his whole turn. He picks up his axe. He casts that spell. Alexandra is back here. He is going to back up a little bit. A little bit. He walks away and he's like, "Let me know if you need like other stuff going on. I am here for you. Actually, he'll just hold his turn. He'll stand there and he'll say the same thing. He'll hold his turn if you let him know you want something done. Potentially like either actually a combat buddy or like something trickier to happen. He will jump in. And then
Yeah, I want those 2 zombies to fall down.
to fall down. He'll wait for the hallway to
Permanently.
be cleared. Oh, that's fair. Geatholth, you are up.
I didn't want to be first. Okay. Might have to be a bit more judicious about what I do and not go running full tilt in there, huh?
I didn't roll better. I'm sorry, buddy.
Hey, it's okay. It's RNG is being RNG. What do you do
Tiffin
about
just
it?
he doesn't have great initiative, anyways.
I get it. I don't exactly have great initiative, but to say RNG is being RNG, so she'll move there. Which, if it provokes, because she'd have to come there and then do that. So
Yeah, they do not have reactions.
if they have a reaction to attack, it can go. But otherwise, she's gonna start swinging at that one.
Alrighty.
God, 13.
13 misses.
Thanks, roll
Just
20. You're
barely.
amazing. You're absolutely amazing. Oh, look at that.
Rough.
13 again. You incredible pile of garbage.
Oh, good damage though. That's a shame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great damage. You couldn't hit. Oh, screw you, roll 20. That's all I've got.
Through, swings into this zombie who is like just a little put together better than the previous ones.
Uh-huh.
Komarov, you're up. You're sort of like on the back of this hallway because you were being broody and quiet.
Yeah, that's fine. I was thoughtful. Yeah, thoughtful. That's what he is. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yes.
I thought there was a chip in my mug. It was not.
How badly do I want to go in there? That's a good question.
I mean, I didn't want to go in there, but I know I'm going to be ineffective if I don't. Of course, roll 20 is pretty much just crapping all over me and saying you're going to be ineffective anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wait till you see how much it hates me.
Alright. So I know. This looks like a spellcaster he did.
Yeah, he's got a
He did
two-handed
cast a
axe. He's the one that
Yeah.
hurt everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, fully spoke, cast a spell.
Yeah. I think we'll just go. We'll do 2 actions straight over there. So far away.
If it matters, we did get a initial action that we could have utilized before combat, so I don't think any of us knew or suggested what your character would have done if they have a stance or if they have something prior. So just letting you know, Brian, because you weren't here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine.
basically you can take 4 actions this one.
Let's see. No. Hmm. It'd probably be hunt prey against this person.
Good choice.
And then we'll hit the nearest. Well, we'll try to hit the nearest person.
Yeah, try.
Do they look alive?
No, they look
They're not.
zombies.
They're all zombies.
All right, just making sure. All right, so last action, try an attack.
20 definitely hits. What kind of damage are you doing?
We're doing slashing.
Slashing damage. Good choice. You carve into this dude for 16 damage there.
And that's my
Looking.
three.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm so sorry. I'm just nervous about the brutes.
We're all nervous about the brutes.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
mean,
Justin, real quick before you go with the brute, would it have been unreasonable for Tivin to have been in the doorway instead of one step back?
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter much, but I just, yeah, just for my 2 cents. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's totally fine. That
Yeah, 'cause I
positioning
did
is
open
valid.
the door.
Yeah. No, yeah, you open the door. It's fine. So this this giant zombie
Oh shit!
lumbers forward, and with its long arm, is just going to sort of punch Tivin because he's
Yeah.
the closest one now. Um, okay, it's a 30.
Jesus. All right. It's not a crit because of my raised shield, but that still
Oh
hurt.
wow!
Yeah, armor class 21 currently.
yeah.
Damn, nice, lucky. Uh,
Um,
very lucky.
however, I am for sure going to use my reaction. Oh no, I don't have one. Oh, do I have one? Because we
You
got the
would,
action.
because we got the
Yeah,
action.
yeah,
All right,
they
then
don't
I
have
will.
reactions because they're zombies. You guys have reactions because you were prepared. Like,
Yeah, then I
you
will
came in
definitely
knowing.
shield block.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so this is, as it is a zombie, this is its last action. It moved and then just sort of thumps Tivin pretty hard. You take, here's my note here. It's just 11 bludgeoning damage, and then you're sort of, you don't fall down or anything, but you can tell that, like, the force of this, like, basically it punches you into the wall, like you have your shield up, and the blunt damage you take is from your back hitting the wall. Like, this thing can just sort of push you around, and it's effortless.
Okay.
I guess I do need to roll for it, but it has no mechanical difference for where you are.
Yeah, that's fine. He can choose aggressive block. He can choose to be off guard or moved.
Move. It's going to choose to be off guard because they don't have the capacity for thought, and they're just trying to go forward.
That's fair.
So it sort of overextends
All
itself.
right.
You block
said
it, and it
11?
just sort of opened up.
So that's 9, and it does not break my threshold.
Damn. All right.
So I take no damage.
Wild.
Or
All
no,
right.
the shield will come first before DR, right?
Huh?
How does damage reduction? Because I have
Damage reduction.
physical.
That
So
happens first.
that happens first.
Okay, and then because my threshold is 10, the 9 doesn't bypass my shield for the shield block.
Exactly.
So, right?
I think so. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I think
All
that's
good.
how it works. The other one is going to.
Yeah, thank you, by the way, Casey, for explaining that like 4 episodes ago, because it's so much better now.
Yeah.
I just thought the damage came off my shield, and then when it broke, it broke.
No,
I didn't
no.
know.
Your shield gets all of its hardness first.
It's awesome.
Okay, so one movement gets this thing here, and then it's got that diagonal. It doesn't have 15 feet of reach, so it can't actually hit Komarov. So it has to use its
Throw
second
zombie.
action. Oh no, so these ones are actually not as big as the one that was throwing zombies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're a little. These ones are a little smaller. So like these ones are better held together, but they're not quite as imposing. So like these ones are like they're beefy, they're big, but they're not as big as the other ones you fought earlier. Yeah, so it has to use both of its actions to move up, but now it is like within reach of several people. That is the end of its turn. The guards,
Justin, they could have just stayed there, gotten angry, and lashed out at any of the 4 things around it.
yeah, that would have been something to do. Katya is going to step and straight up fire an arrow at the at the dude, and she's going to use her 2-action archery thing that takes away
Cover?
cover and yeah, all that stuff. She rolls real bad though.
Yeah,
That's
because that's been our thing this whole fight.
Yeah.
We roll really bad.
So...
It's going to be funny because the game is going to end here. Purely from Roll20 being a spiteful little bitch.
It would be so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, she actually does hit. Just barely she hits. Okay. So he takes 7 piercing damage from that arrow, but that's all of her actions. The other 2 are going to move up 5, 10, 5. Post up. Post up. So they don't kick the door in yet, but it looks like, yeah, I guess you guys don't know what
We
they're
don't know
doing.
what they're doing.
Yeah, so
Magnus
the doors
saw
that were
one go inside. That's all we know.
Yeah.
Sounds
that's
good.
Yeah. And then we move to Tivin.
All right. So do I focus fire on the big guy, or do I try to?
I mean, I'm yelling and screaming at Roll20 because I feel that stupid little zombie should already be down. But I'm thinking we need to clear the board
Well,
more
I
than...
meant fire on the spellcaster.
It's hard to say because I don't think we can absorb all the hits.
Agreed.
That's where I'm at, is just like remove things from the board that we can.
Did we, the last couple of times we fought the big guys, did we notice if they had opportunity attacks or not?
No,
I don't
they
think
don't.
they did.
No, zombies
Okay.
don't.
So, I didn't think so.
Yeah, they don't even get 3 actions.
Yeah, they get 2 actions. They're perma-slowed, so...
There are ways for people to undo that, but these are like this guy's obviously more powerful than other things you've fought so far. Like spellcaster trying to do this like crazy ritual, he took over this little base, but the zombies around him are like bog standard. He just sort of stitched them up, so they've got like a little better AC and a little more hit points than the other ones, but otherwise like they have no specialer abilities than what you've witnessed.
Yeah.
All right. Shoot.
But I'm
I don't
still
like
saying
big
I'd
guys right here.
rather kill something and take it off the board than worry about the spellcaster right now.
That's fair. Well, I have to. Yeah, I have to consider taunt. That's my thing.
I know.
So no matter what I do, I have to spend an action to step. No matter what I attack. So
Yep.
yeah, let's step. You know what? Let's not step. Let's move to here. He's outside of my reach, but doesn't really matter. Let's just. Oh, what's it called? Everstand Strike, I think.
Yeah.
That's the one
Yeah.
where. Yeah. So let's Everstand Strike the Zambi.
The little one or the big one?
The one that I'm
Flanking.
flanking to ensure
Okay,
that I hit it to get my raise shield for free. All right, so it'll be Ever Shield. Yep, it'll be this +2, or no, -2. You take
Yeah.
flanking into account. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Yep, yep.
Sorry, I'm like no, that's different. Yeah,
Full. I mean, full critical hit.
Yeah.
You kill it.
excellent.
So Komarov comes up and does like a water blade, cuts this one open really bad, and then after the other zombies sort of rearrange themselves, Tivin runs in and just overhead swing, bashes its head down into its chest cavity, just sort of it's just in there now, and it just
There's
sort
a
of
really
collapses
nice,
into them.
sickening thud as
Yeah,
the
no,
skull
it's the
shatters.
So that's
like
2 for my, and then a free raise shield, and then for my third action, let's taunt this guy.
okay.
Well, hold on. Keita, how hurt do you look comparative to Komarov?
Komarov looks worse than me.
All right, so then I'll taunt that guy. So he needs to make a will save, DC 16.
16. Okay. Let's have fail, not a critical fail.
That's okay. So it's just -2, +2 versus me, -2 everybody else,
Okay.
and he can't move. It just enables my ability to intercept strikes and stuff if he targets somebody who isn't me.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's my 3 actions. Thank you.
All right. So now we move to the Shamblers. One of them is off the board already. Tivin pushes its head down into his chest cavity, and like just sort of a bunch of seawater shoots out from the ribs, like it was just waterlogged.
Little crab.
Yeah, no, like yeah, like a bunch of like definitely like a bunch of like nasty parasites are just sort of in the meat. Just super upsetting. All right, so this one moves up to Komarov, and it's going to attempt to give you a whack. Natural 20.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I am
Yep.
sorry.
That's okay.
All right, so that's
I mean, I can use
4.
this at least because I have it.
And so the total is 14 bludgeoning.
Yeah.
So it comes up and punches you like right in, like it gets a full like you haven't turned to face it yet, so it's like a full kidney punch, just really bad.
Mhm.
Revealing light.
It,
So it's dazzled.
It's dazzled.
Yeah.
It also reduces the damage by 6.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So 14 reduces to 8. So there've absolutely been worse critical hits. 5, 10.
Yeah, the problem is you seem to get 3 around.
Killing a lot of dudes. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, I don't like the way that they've made armor so. It's there to prevent you from getting critically hit, not hit. And it's like, why have armor? If it's so bad that you have to rely almost entirely on having a boatload of hit points just to absorb the hits.
So that one uses both of its actions to get in line with Tivin, so it does not have another action. We move to Magnus.
All right. Well, that guy is going to. Let's see. Do I want to burn him? Push this. I will TPK him with some slashing damage.
16 hits. So he takes that 12. A little extra. Let me see how much. 9, close his page. Okay. Yeah, so he takes 17 from that.
Nice.
Big chunk off of him. And then you cast shield.
Yeah.
All right. So at the sort of at the end of this round, before the zombie lord goes again, you guys are in the middle of this conflict. You can hear yelling from the far door, like people are pounding on it, like it's locked and they've been locked in there.
This one.
Yeah, the far door over there.
I was like, somebody let him in. These guys over here.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
Man.
mean, if you tell them to go around and like kick that door in, they will.
I think that might not be a bad idea.
All right. So at the end of Magnus's turn, you guys can hear that there are other people here pounding on the door, like calling for help. And then it's the zombie lord's turn. Everything has something to hit, so he's not going to bother with all that special garbage. He is going to. Everyone, go ahead and. So he holds he's holding this great axe and he holds it up over his head and it starts to just sort of absorb the light of the room. Everyone go ahead and give me a is it will save? He's casting harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Will.
It
Will save, yeah.
is.
Yeah, so he does a
I think it's Will.
30-foot.
I'm just barely out.
Magnus doesn't have to make it.
Okay. No, mine says fort.
Oh, really?
Well, when I
Oh,
look at
yeah.
heal, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
extra harm is fortitude.
Why isn't it listed? That's weird.
Yeah, like I'm looking at harm. Doesn't that look weird?
All right, it's
It doesn't-
fortitude. Fortitude.
It is fortitude.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I said will roll fortitude saves. I'm sorry.
It's my fault too. I got it wrong.
Oh, there it is.
It's
Not
like, oh,
listed in
come
the
on.
top part for some reason.
Heal harm.
Yeah, that's weird.
Token, living, blah, blah, blah.
It's in the middle there.
Yeah, it should be up. They really should put it up to the top of like save required. Fort
Mhm.
will
Yeah.
not. It's hidden. Yeah, it's hidden in the text.
Well, a lot of the spells do, which is why I was like, oh, that's weird.
I know, and this
Um,
one doesn't.
Okay, so Keitha will take half, Tivin will take half, Komarov will take the full damage. It is just 6.
Yeah.
But that also heals up the guy a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he has no other actions. It's a 3-action cast. Are there instructions for Alexandra?
No.
Okay, you want him to just sort of hang out?
Hmm.
You know what? He's going to spend his whole round running up to where these guys are. Trying to sort of skirt around the melee there. And he'll come in through that area. Keitha.
Okay, well. Start off by using lay on hands on Komarov. So it's 12 healing.
Yeah.
She will 5-foot step forward and take a swing at the little zombie.
Alrighty.
Oh, you miserable piece of garbage! Roll 20, you cheating piece of garbage. Stop it.
That's pretty bad. I'm sorry. Are you gonna sit with it though? You want to use your hero
I'm gonna
point?
sit with it. I'm not using the hero point right now.
All right. Um.
But I am gonna cuss the day they created Roll20 and say, fix your stuff and make it actually random.
Yeah, it does feel like there's an inordinate amount of threes in there.
Well, low rolls in general.
Yeah. All right. Komarov.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. So we'll go after this little shambler. We'll see about taking it down. So slashing for these.
Against the Shambler.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely hits. You do 18 damage to that one there. And that one will finish it off.
Okay.
Oh, 2 actual water blade. All right.
Yeah. I imagine the 2-action one is like 2-handed.
Yeah.
And then I just do a quick stab.
All right. So now it is up to
The
the
brute
big
squad.
boys again. So this first one is going to attack Tivin. Tivin, the one next to you is the one that has been taunted.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one's not going to do anything crazy because you're already within reach, and they're not tactical. They're just punch. 17 doesn't hit Tivin. Then the second one, even worse. And then the other one, the one that is taunted, is also going to go for Tivin because he's the one yelling at it. That one also gets 17.
+2 or
And
no?
that 17 total, so 19 or 19 total with it. It got 17 without that.
Which doesn't hit because of shield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just reminding you that he gets a +2 to hit me.
I had forgotten. Thank you. This other one is going to also fucking miss. All right. So they flail around ineffectually. Tivin is doing his job, taking the swings.
That's right.
All right. So we get to these guards. Now Katya has a line of. She's gonna take her longbow and take 2 shots at the little one, just trying to clear things because she can hear Geatholth and Tivin negotiating about what to do. And she had previously aimed at the other guy because that's all she had a line of sight to. So
Yeah.
first one will be without any cover or anything. Easily hits a zombie for 6, but piercing damage, so no special stuff. Second action miss. So that's her. These other 2 guys here, they're going to make a strength or an athletics check to try and kick this door open, which was just sort of being held shut by that brute. But it is waterlogged the same way everything else is. They just sort of slammed it shut because they're big. This is with the help action. Natural 20. It's not EDK. He's the one outside. I've forgotten their names. Ukini kicks the door open. This big Varst kicks the door open. Him and Todd run in. So now that you have line of sight onto them, do you tell them to go try to open the other door?
Yeah, Keith is probably get that door.
Okay. Itoke sort of like just makes a hand signal, like a Varst hand signal of recognition. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He can get to here. He runs forward. They both got their crossbows out and loaded. Hod makes it all the way over there. But that is all of their actions. They kick that door in, they run in, and then we move to Tivin.
Right. Ah, crap! I wish he had stepped in.
He's not going to.
No, it's fine. It's just because of that intercept strike that I can do against creatures that are specifically flanking.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is considered flanking me currently, correct?
No.
No.
All right, I didn't think so. I just wanted to double check.
Oh, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
actually,
technically, yes.
yeah,
But you can't reach
the
one of them.
brutes. Yeah, the brutes.
Well,
Are
that's why I said I wish
flanking
he had. Yeah, if he had stepped 5, then I'd be flanking. They're flanking because of reach, but I can't reach him. Is my point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so your thing is against things that you can. Okay.
Yeah. I can't attack outside of my reach. Like that would be incredible. Yeah. So I think let's just. Neither of the giants have been hit yet, right?
Nope.
But
No.
this one was shot by the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bowman.
she
that
hit
one's
her.
missing some hit points.
All right, so let's do
And I've
that.
hit him.
Let's.
No, the little zombie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've hit him and the archer hit him.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you hit that zombie. I thought you hit the big
Yeah.
guy.
Oh,
So let's ever stand strike that one.
I may have put the negative hit points on a different guy, the wrong guy. I think
Oh.
this one's pretty close to being dead. It still wouldn't have killed it outright, but I'll go ahead and correct those
That's
hit points here. My bad. I'm sorry. I was probably reading something and misunderstood what you're doing.
Don't think 11's gonna hit it.
11 does not hit it.
13 is missed. So
Yeah, their AC is a nice 14 for a zombie.
Oh shit! Let me double check that real quick.
So they have like cord holding their stuff together, like whatever this other zombie is has like reinforced them with like just sort of basic stitchery, but using like good stitching.
Do it again.
Uh, 23 definitely hits.
All right.
Not quite a critical hit, almost.
No, that's fine.
But with the moved over hit points and the archer having hit it, that does do it in.
okay.
Good. And then that,
Yeah, that
because it succeeds, it raises my shield, and then I will taunt the giant again. So this
okay.
one.
It rolls even worse.
Say again.
Rolls even worse.
Is it
but
a
still
crit
normal.
fail? That,
It rolls
No, it is
6.
still norm. It's still normal by 1.
okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, rolled at 2. You don't need to scream. It's okay.
No, I need to scream. I really, really need to scream. Because Roll20 is basically relegating me to being incompetent. But you're incompetent. No. She's supposed to be a good fighter.
Yeah. If we were live and you were rolling this poorly, you would just pick the dice up and throw them away.
Well, we'd be through 2 more of Tony's launches at this point.
That's true.
Only one. I haven't been. It hasn't been long enough for me to get that mad yet.
It's a $12 watch. Casey can replace it once every 6 months. Like the memes, just 6 in. I show up like in 2 years, and I just have 4 bracers of just watch bands.
Literally has a jerkin made out of watch bands.
That's hilarious.
Oh.
I mean,
That's all for me. That's 3 actions.
I might start with a helmet.
Everstand, miss, Everstand, hit, raise shield for free, and then taunt against the fat boy.
All right. Well, the Shamblers are all gone. You guys have taken care of those. We move to Magnus.
Hell yeah. That's why I targeted. I was like, I don't want them to go again.
Yeah,
I will
it adds up.
attempt to recall knowledge on the big boy right there.
The big one. All right. Go ahead and roll that religion.
Let me get to that screen.
Do better than I did. Good job.
Probably not.
No, that's
better.
better than I did.
I think that's why he
It's
gets to
just
go
I
0
have
or
higher
1.
religion. You still
Yeah.
got better.
No, unfortunately, that's still not gonna give you your sneak attack
bonus.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
then
well.
I will TPK him.
19 hits, 14
Nice damage.
damage. You're still doing slashing?
Correct.
Perfect. So you do
That's
19.
good.
Oh, no. It is actually 24 damage against the big guys.
Nice. That
Yep.
was a good hit.
That was
Mhm.
Huge
Now,
hit.
Mike, do that every round.
Yeah.
Mike's done well.
Keep it up, Magnus.
Oh yeah, he did good.
Yeah, huge chunk of this giant zombie sort of falling to the ground. Any other actions from Magnus?
No, that was my 3.
Oh, the recall knowledge, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, end of the round, you hear these people still calling out for help from the door there. They're basically they're going to give whoever the help action by like sort of also trying to kick the door in, but they are on a worse side of things.
Sure.
Okay. The zombie lord, seeing Mike cast all these spells, direct line of sight to Mike, watching him do magic. Nobody else has done magic. I mean, I guess Komarov is kind of doing magic. Oh, I guess
Keitha did lay
yeah,
on hands,
yeah, you did lay on hands, and Komarov
but
does his like.
there's no guarantee he
Bane
knows how many focus points I have. So, but yeah, he is thinking, so he at the very least recognizes I'm a champion.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Sort of just hoping the brute will take care of you. Mike not being in reach of any of them is sort of the
Yeah.
bigger issue here. All right, so we're going to start with just sort of a void warp. Mike, go ahead and make me a fortitude save.
All right.
Yeah, just tossing a cantrip at you.
And that one's over 30 feet, right? I can never remember on that one.
Oh no, you're right. He has to move
Because we're
you're
35 feet away. That's why I'm not throwing cantrips at him either.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's this nice, safe, cozy spot where nobody's
Yeah.
threatening
Yeah,
him
That
right
looks a
there.
good spot
Safe,
for him.
safe
Yeah,
cozy spot right there,
right next
next
to the
to.
giant stone block. That sounds like a
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, right there. Love it. I mean, he could even move there. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong there.
Absolutely. Walk right through those squares. That would be fantastic. Let me do that
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
as I reactive strike him.
I mean, Tivin probably doesn't even have any abilities that will do anything if he
Correct.
Yeah.
I've shown no penchant for being a fighter.
Mhm.
Is going to do the smart thing and make the like L to come into this square from the zombies square. You can move through allies.
Yes.
And he holding this battle axe, he says, I suppose I will do the work myself, as I have for centuries. And then he is just gonna try to attack Tivin with the flank.
Okay. But he says it necro, so we don't understand, because fuck that guy.
No, he's straight up. No,
I
he's
know.
actually speaking giant. So you, with the studying you did earlier, you
Yeah.
get that he's talking shit and a little exasperated.
I call him, I don't know, something stone-brained and Jotun.
Yeah, you call him a stone brain. He says, "Oh, clever dwarf with the stone puns," and then he hits you with a battle axe. He got a 25.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll shield
Not a
block.
battle axe, a great axe. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
Okay. So that is 22 slashing damage.
Okay, so
Reduced by a bit.
oh, you flashed a grander?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, nice. That
Okay,
is
well,
going to matter.
give me
Give me a
30
second.
seconds to do math real quick, because now I gotta
Okay.
do math. So that reduces it by 6,
6 from me.
which makes it 16,
Uh, was it
22,
22?
Yeah.
6. Yep.
16.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
22.
And then I DR 2, so that's
14.
14. And then reduced by 10.
10.
So
4.
both me and my shield take 7. Okay.
4.
Why 4?
Because if we reduce it down to 14 and your shield hardness is 10, yes?
Oh, you're correct. Thank you.
4.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. Correct.
So he's just going to try again. But this time he has you have concealment from him because of the dazzled condition. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So I'm just gonna
roll a d20 and it's 5 or
yeah.
higher.
Well, I'll roll the attack first to see if he even gets close, and then we'll do
All right.
the one there.
AC
So
still 21. Yeah. Oh no, it'd be 19 now.
Well,
19.
Because I'm
4
flanked.
flat-footed. But
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
go
saying.
ahead and take that into account.
He got a 21. So we'll do the d20 here. I'll do it on the board here. 3. He misses.
Yes.
Man, this
Fucking
guy can
good.
lay out some damage. You guys like band together to reduce the amount of damage Tiven takes, and then he's got like this light in his eyes, and he like overswings, and he's like, ah, just sort of makes this grunting sound, and then he like sort of does the, I'm looking at you to Keitha, but
Tiven-
yeah, he's dazzled
Tiven laughs in Dwarven.
in Dwarven, yeah. Leoxandra, 5, 10, 25, 5. Yeah. Alexander's gonna run over here. He is aware of what's going on. He can see. And then Keitha.
All right. Well, I don't think we need me to lay down any healing right now, so
No, it doesn't look like it does.
we'll go for the giant.
Yeah. Ooh,
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah, terrible damage. There we go.
Uh, it's still 16. It's still
16.
26.
I know.
26. So this one, is way closer. This one's at about a third health now. The other one still has not been hit.
Yeah.
And follow it up.
And the follow-up.
Yeah, huge chunk out of this thing, and then sort of like it gets caught in one of the bones, and your second slash just sort of like you just stumble
Is
a little
Tiven
bit over
hurt
trying to
at
get the
all?
blade.
A little bit. I've taken 11 damage. Yeah, shield block helps.
I
Yeah,
know.
He's
I
taking
know.
pennies off of what's being thrown at him.
So Keitha is going to lay on hands Tiven. It's 12, so you should be full healed.
I sure am.
But that also gives you a bonus to your AC for the next
Oh,
round.
status too. Nice. Heck yeah.
Damn, 23.
Currently minus the flank, but yeah.
That's
But
rough.
that's okay because I get to go soon. Oh no, never mind. Brutes get to go first. Fuck.
Yeah, Komarov.
Alright, so we'll stride over here. Because naturally, these are more threatening than the axe guy.
Well, yes and no.
Oh, I'm about to taunt that MF for real here.
I mean, that guy gets 3 actions. That's the big difference.
That's okay.
That's 20 hits.
Nice.
So
That's
that
11.
would...
That's 21.
Mhm.
It is still up.
Yep.
Oh, they don't like slashing at all.
No,
Yeah,
they
they don't
don't.
like it at all. They're they're taking an extra 10 from all slashing damage. It's
I
a
need
lot.
to.
It adds up fast.
I need a transitive room on my shield boss to do slashing and piercing.
I know you can do piercing.
You could do a shield spike and then shield bosh. Wow, bosh.
You're
I
This
feel
is
like
how you become an intergalactic mercenary. I am
intergalactic robotic.
What's Komarov's last? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
moved.
Moved in
Move
intent.
into action. Correct.
Water to English is
All
not.
right.
Uh-huh.
I mean, so we're aiming for a 23, but they do have you in this really confusing looking flank.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
this one is still taunted. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't gone yet.
So we'll start with the one in the back, the northmost one. Swinging. This one does not have a bonus to hit you at all.
Nope.
20 total. So that's
So that
that's
misses
yeah,
by
that's
one.
one off. Yeah.
Yeah,
second
the
attack.
+2 AC just bypasses flank, so I have a
Yeah.
21 for everybody.
Yeah. And then the other one that has the bonus. So that one swings, misses twice. The one that has the bonus is it 2. So that's just
So
+2, yeah.
yeah.
26.
Yep.
On that one, they're actually not smart. They're just gonna shove you. The damage for that is 14 bludgeoning damage,
Okay, so
and then here's the athletics to shove. So they have improved push, so it doesn't take an action, but they still need to roll for it as of the new rules.
Yes.
yeah.
And that's a 20 total to just sort of shove you.
Okay, I think that's
your
against my fortitude.
Fortitude DC. Yeah.
Yeah, 14.
Is a success.
Okay.
However,
Oh,
have dwarven feet where if I'm forced to move, I move 5 feet less.
does that say reduced to 0 or reduced to 5 feet?
No, it just says it reduces the penalty by 5 feet. So if they move me 10, I move 5. If they move me 5, I move 0. I think that's what. Oh, Christ.
I mean, it's usually they can reduce it to 0.
Because I know some of them reduce it, but just to the minimum, not to 0. Oh, did you apply the circumstance bonus?
To what?
To
So
your
I
4.
don't think it succeeds because Rock Dwarf only reduces things if you would be moved more than 10 feet. You were instead moved half, so 5 would be the minimum. But you get a +2 against it, so it didn't
Oh,
succeed.
right.
That's what it does.
Right.
Yeah.
But I
so
think it's
it tries to
still,
shove you.
my fortitude is 16, so an 18 would still fail. Because it rolled a 20, right?
Oh yes, that is right.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
fine.
It just punches you right there.
Okay. It's like,
So you're not flanked anymore, but now you have to waste resources. I guess you're going for the other guy now anyway. But it's just going to use its last action to try and hit you again, actually having a way worse chance of hitting you. And it gets like a 1, so nothing.
no,
Yeah,
the only thing that sucks about him moving me is he can now leave my reach because I don't have reach on him with the taunt. But yeah, that's all. And I also don't think I have that feat now that I look at it. You're fine. Don't just keep.
Fail.
I'm Googling.
Oh, success. So Todd over here kicks this door open, and this sort of holding area with it's been like filled with water. There's like huge damage to the walls here. It looks like there's a bunch of storage in here that has been just waterlogged, and there's holes where water is coming up into the ground. There are actually 6 people in here, but only 2 of them look like they're healthy enough to fight. They have like spars of wood from these crates they've pried off, and they will enter initiative after Mike.
Nice.
We'll just call them
Refugees.
survivors.
There you go, survivors.
Did that do it? There we go. Yeah, they're just coming in at 0. They don't have, they're not prepped or anything, but they were right up on the door. That's just sort of where I had them, so I remembered how many were there. So Todd comes over, kicks the door in, and these dudes like sort of shake themselves off, and they're just holding like bits of wood with nails in them, and they're like, "It's go time!" But then it's not their turn, so it's not go time. Seeing that, Ukini is going to just 5, 10. Actually, he doesn't need to move because that's just a table. He's just going to fire a crossbow bolt at the one flanked by Komarov and Geatholth. Natural 20.
Oh, jeez.
He does 10. A clean, it's just 10 damage, piercing damage to this thing. That is what is needed to kill him, though.
Nice.
That opens up so much more we can do, though.
Yeah. So
Nice.
Todd kicks this door in. Takes him all 3 of his actions to move over and then to like shoulder into the door. But he gets it open, and then Itoke levels his crossbow bolt and just fires it right through this thing's neck, and just sort of the head starts to like tilt and fall off. And he's like, "That's how we do it." And then he's gonna load,
Well done.
and then fire another one at the other big one, and miss because penalty. But then we have
Tiven.
Katya. She's gonna.
Oh, yeah, Katya.
Yeah, they all go at the same time because I didn't want to roll again. That is also a crit against the guy in the hallway there, unless there is a penalty. No. The volley does not apply because he is 35 feet away from her. Oh no, is the longbows have deadly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a 10 or an 8?
It's
think it's a 10.
I'll look.
Longbow, I think, is a 10.
Yeah, I think so.
Damn. All right.
D10. Yeah.
11. And she does 17 damage against you.
Nice.
And then she'll use her last action to try again. Fail. Yeah, Archer's really killing it this round. We move to Tiven.
Awesome.
Does the dazzle last until? How long does the dazzle last?
Until Keith's turn.
Until my turn, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Which, yeah. Okay, well, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's Everstand stance this dude in the face.
Mhm.
Come on, roll 20, beautiful bitch.
18 does hit.
Awesome.
Nice.
6.
Let's try to shove prone. Not thinking that's gonna do good.
No, that
fuck it.
doesn't do it. This guy looks oddly strong for a zombie.
That's okay. We're still trying it. God, even worse. That love you. Roll 20.
But
God.
you bash him in the face, and he goes like, "Oh," and then you like get into like the full like he's pushing his axe blade down on your shield, and you're pushing up on him, and like the leverage is just sort of balanced out.
That's all right. Let's try to taunt him.
All right. His will save is a lot better than the other ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets a 30 on that one.
He gets a 30.
Yeah, he gets a 30. I
Jesus.
rolled a 9. I rolled a 19, and he's
All
he's
right.
a
Well, he's
he's a
unaffected.
cleric.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no.
He's all casting spells and shit. He's got good wisdom. Is that your last action?
Yeah, it's all 3. I mean, I got my
Alright.
shield raised, thank God. But
Yeah. Okay. We move to Mike.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can identify him some more.
his name is
Ooh.
Ray. Ray Gun the bullshit. No.
22. Critical pass.
That's a crit.
Yeah.
That means you get sneak attack against him for a whole minute. What do you want to
Yeah.
know?
Huh? Let's go with more weaknesses. I don't know if it's just slashing or not, but
Does he?
Yeah,
Could he
it's
identify what?
positive in slashing. I'm sorry, what was that, Anthony?
I was just gonna say, with a nat 20, could he identify what being it follows? Do we know that yet?
does he have like a holy symbol visible?
Well, with a great axe, it's the undead lord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Geatholth can identify that because he does have to have like a religious symbol, like on his person to use his spells. It is oh shoot, I forgot the Hroth.
Hrothgar? Yeah.
Is it Hrothgar? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Hrothgar. You've also already fought an undead cleric of Hrothgar.
Yeah. They're common, strangely.
Where's the second one? This one feels like it's in like a space that's a little more appropriate. That other one was out of space. This one's like at least next to where all the zombies are. Mike, what? Weaknesses are just slashing and positive, just like all zombies. Weakest save though is reflex. I'll give you that one because you already knew what the other weaknesses were.
Sounds good. And then let's see if we can put him on some fire on him. Nope.
Unfortunately, a 9 doesn't do it. So yeah, you get the lowdown on this dude, and then you pitch
Hit that little
fireball through
portion
the
of the
hallway.
door. The door's like on fire.
The stone caught fire. That's not good.
Yeah, you're like, oh no.
I'm right here.
So is that 3 actions from
That was my
Magia's?
3. Yep. So now we got the survivors.
Okay. So these guys look like they are ready to throw down. They do not necessarily look like they are good at it. Just to let you guys know.
Just get him out.
This guy runs fully up to this big zombie and is going to swing this sort of spar of wood at it. He actually rolls really well. It's not a crit, but it is a hit. And he does 8 damage to this one, which has not otherwise been hurt yet. That's all 3 of his actions. Oh, the other guy can get in there as well. So, never mind. He does not actually want to be next to that other thing. Yeah, this guy's going to move up to here, and then he's actually just going to draw and huck a broken bottle, which still does bludgeoning damage, unfortunately, at this thing. And he gets a nat 1. So he runs up. He sees that the only other space is right next to the zombie lord, and is like, nah, how about no? And then he hucks a bottle and just sort of splashes ineffectually on the ground. Bottle's not even broken. But 2 more people come into the mix, and we move back to the zombie lord. The zombie lord looks out at everyone. So he's unaffected by your taunt. He does not
Yeah.
necessarily
Play
know
lawyer.
that you have an attack of opportunity. Yeah, yeah, he's just gonna sort of run at Magnus. You're hard to hit, and Magnus is doing magic. He knows how dangerous that can be. So go ahead and make your attack of opportunity. $24 does hit, but is not a crit. So you do that 5. Oh, I hit the 4 instead. We'll add one more to that. Oh, I fucked the whole thing. It's all busted now.
Oh no!
What happened?
Yeah.
Corrected. Okay, cool. I remembered how many hit points he didn't have, so I just corrected it. Okay, so you bash him as he's running past. Now he knows you have an attack of opportunity. It has not been Geathoth's turn. Oh, wait.
Out of range for me.
Would the Dazzled have gone off because you go after him?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gone.
it stopped after.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't make any other attacks though, so it's gone now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, he runs right up to Mike, and he's just going to lean into Mike because, to your guys' earlier logic as well, got to get people off the field.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a 27 with his axe.
That's a crit.
All right.
Oh no, buddy.
You know what? I don't think great axes have deadly or anything, right?
No.
Nope. They're just
No.
3 or
Yeah.
just a D12.
Yeah,
1d12. They hurt.
Yeah, they're just mean. Oh, I rolled low on the dice, so that is 25 slashing for that first one, and then he'll
Alright,
try for
I'm
the second
making
one.
some.
The second one is a 19.
That hits.
Okay. This one, he actually does more damage on this one. 21.
Alright, I'm at dying 1.
Wow. Oh no.
No,
Yeah,
that's...
so- Yeah, Zombie Lord correctly identifies the wizard as being sort of easy to put down and also dangerous because that's how magic works. So runs past Tivin, giving him a slap on the ass with his shield, and then just heavy axe down, and he goes, "Stupid, stupid mortals! You don't know what's happening." And Mike is down, and we move to Leoxander's turn. Leoxander is so far away from Mike. Leoxander is going to throw a scalpel at 5, 10, 15, 20. Throw a scalpel at the fruit zombie, actually doing a crit.
No.
Wait, what's this guy's AC? It's not a natural 20, but it is high. No, yeah, that's a full crit. Okay. Unfortunately, Leoxander only does a D4 plus 1. So he does 3, 5. So he does 15 damage. Scalpels do slashing damage. Then he has to draw his other spare scalpel. Then Kepa. Katya is screaming.
I know. But with the way I've been rolling, I'm... She's probably going to yell at Leoxandra to get down there, and she's going to move up to the brute, because she's like, I got to get this off the field. This thing needs to be put down, so she'll move up and take a swing at that. Of course. The damage is terrible, so I don't think I'm going to waste a hero point. But let's watch it fail again.
17 hits.
Okay.
You do 20 damage to this thing.
But that's all I got.
With the weakness. All right. We move to Komarov. Komarov, you're down to 2 enemies out of the original 6, I think 7, and you've gained 2 allies. And then Mike or Magnus is down. I don't know if... No, Komarov can probably see that.
Yeah,
I heard it. we heard Magnus say, "Ah, my glutes."
He acts
My
like
spleen!
my insides are now on the outside.
I'm just thinking of a great axe that has the Aztec death whistle, so as it swings, it goes, "Ah!"
The
Yeah,
Terrifying.
okay.
Jesus Christ.
This way. Alright, so we'll move here. And we will go and heal Mike for 10.
Wow, nice.
On your feet, nerd.
Is that our version of
I
on
think I
the
just
left?
deleted my token. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
it did. It's like,
Not that far off your feet. You can
poof! What did you
don't
do?
fly off.
Where did he go?
I was
Oh shit, he's
adding
invisible.
my hit points back. I just went invisible.
Like whatever Comrade did was really effective. Ah, oh
Oh.
no.
Okay.
Control Z, Control Z.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Now there's 2 of them. This
Yeah.
is all
Okay.
part of my plan.
Komarov can duplicate people. But then they have to fight to the death.
Oof.
I just cast mirror image.
Yeah.
Good spell right now.
So Komarov gets Magnus stirred. Magnus, you're prone on the ground after having been just laid out. And I think the zombie lord is actually already looking to other targets. Just sort of looked away. Komarov, can you do anything else?
No, there was a stride and 2 action.
Silly question, but curious.
Mhm.
Mike critical the recall knowledge to get sneak attack for a minute. That doesn't go away because they went down, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I didn't think so either, but it's just something I never considered before. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah. Mike, go ahead and roll initiative again because your token was removed. You're not on the tracker anymore.
I should be okay.
Right
then I
above
should
the-
be right after him.
Yeah,
Right-
you'll go
right
right,
above him.
after the 2 survivors.
Yeah,
that
the
are in that
survivors.
back room
On the
there.
new token.
I mean, you didn't move very far.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you basically just switch spots with them.
Yeah.
Just put, yeah,
All right,
whatever
so
it is.
there's
Just
that, you
type
can
in
move it
20
over.
where
Yeah.
you are. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, you also didn't roll that much different either.
Nope.
That's fair.
Um,
Was that 6, right, or something?
He
like
was
that?
at 6.
Yeah, he's at 6.
6, yeah.
That's fun.
Well, it's
Okay,
because
so-
Mike is a memer, so he has to roll a 9 after getting a 6.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we just know
Dude.
he can just feel it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Brute's up.
yeah, Brute's up. He's got 4 targets in reach, and he's not taunted, so he's not compelled by anything esoteric. I'm just gonna roll a d8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Komarov, swing is coming at you.
Okay.
13.
No, miss.
And
Just
second
surprised.
one.
Karlov's like, that's a
still,
crit.
still Komarov. Even worse because of map. Yeah, so the brutes just start swinging around crazy. We move to the guards. These dudes are going to. Okay, yeah, they're just both gonna go for the brute now. So we'll start with Keeney, natural 20. Wow, I really do. Maybe I should change my d20.
I'll be like,
Let me change that.
shoot for the glowing weak spots.
Yeah, no, they full.
We have Resident Evil zombies in our world.
Apparently.
Keeney is like having a full on, like, existential awakening here. He does 13 on that.
How do you do 13 if you double it?
Oh, because I'm rolling 2d8 on a crit. I think it's more fun that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. I'm like,
And he had to reload. I think he's got a second shot this turn, and he fails. Todd is going to do the same thing. Hits, not a crit, and then miss. Todd only does 3, but they're
it's
hitting him.
3.
Yeah. Hey, Katya, however, is all up in this bullshit. She is going to move up and then use a drag maneuver on Magnus.
Oh, nice.
So she'll roll that. I'm assuming Magnus doesn't resist, but she also
Alright.
rolled a 20, not a natural 20, just like 20. So she can drag you, think that far? Or is it just 5 feet? I
I think
forget.
it's just 5.
So she pulls you away from that. Move, drag, and then, I mean, she has no...
She could get
You're
a
not,
shot. It's
yeah, you're not
minus because
unconscious.
it's.
Her equipment is nothing exotic. Okay, cool. Yeah, she'll take
Take a
that
shot.
final shot. That is a miss.
Yeah.
So she drags Magnus back, kind of falls back onto her haunches, and then fires this like clumsy arrow trying to ward this guy away. Tivin.
Do you guys got this?
Yeah, sure.
Hopefully.
All right. I'll move there. First thing we're gonna do is taunt that piece of shit.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't get a 30 again, but it probably will. Cause
It's
piece of
not
shit.
a 30.
Is it higher than 26?
I don't think so, no. No, it's 24.
Okay.
Okay, so still success. So -1 penalty against for everybody else, but it still gets a +2 to hit me.
Okay.
But it is taunted, so
Yes.
stay right there. And then we're gonna Everstand strike it in the face for my second action or third action. You suck. God
Yeah,
damn it.
you come up, you taunt him as he's sort of having turned away and then turned back to Magnus being dragged away. You come up, get into spaces with him, swing your shield, and it just sort of steps away from it, and he says, "Fine, you have my attention." And then we
Didn't quite
move
want
to
it, but
the
all right.
survivors. So now the big guy is, or now the zombie lord is gone. So Home Slice, that's his name, Home Slice. Misses. Okay. The next one moves up 5, 10, 15, 20, and he'll attack twice. That's a hit, and that is actually a hit. So he hits twice, and he does a total of 8 damage to this thing. Piercing damage, they don't get the bonus to it. They're swinging a club with nails in it. But they do hit a little bit into there. Magnus, you're there. You're still prone, but now you're not adjacent to the zombie lord.
Alright, yep. I will stand up, and
Oof.
then we will send some rocks at his way. We'll do slashing on this.
Alrighty.
Okay, well.
That hits. Go ahead and roll your sneak attack.
Nice.
Let's see. There we are.
6 would be really clutch right now. 5 ain't not bad either.
That's not bad. So that is a total of 20 damage to him with the weakness there. So he's starting to look pretty bad, but he still does have he's just still hardier than everything else is there. Oh, you stood, cast spell. Anything else you can do?
Nope, that was my 3.
All right. Move to the zombie lord's turn. Um, looking at Tivin, says, "Fine, here we are." He reaches out and just sort of grabs your shoulder. Make a. This is casting a spell.
Oh, yeah,
So you get an attack of opportunity.
I do. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah,
That
Jesus.
one does miss. So you miss that strike. He reaches out, sort of just grabs your arm. Go ahead and make me a fortitude save now. That is a pass. So you'll take half of. Oh, I rolled kind of lame. You'll take 3 void damage,
Ow.
and then he'll swing his axe at you because
Yeah.
there's no map when you make someone make a save.
Mhm.
Fail though, bad, really bad. It's like a 10.
Oh, nice.
By a 10, I mean it's less than 15. Okay. Leoxandra is going to go. So he is here. 5, 10, 15, 25. 25. Alexandra is going to. He does not have the action to use battle medicine, but he can gun it past the zombie lord there. Taking a risk there. He does not take any reactions. I also hadn't checked to see if he had reactions. So Alexandra is now there with Mike to use battle medicine next turn. But it takes all 3 movements to do that. He comes over and he's like, "I'm here. Give me a second." He's been running the whole time. He's done other than that. He's done one thing, and it's throw a knife.
Mhm.
So we move to Geatholth.
Okay. Let's see here. Guess she's gonna start swinging at the big zombie.
14 hits.
Okay. Damage is done.
Yeah. You do
20 total.
20 total, killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You cut the whole sever the femur, and it topples onto the ground and just sort of doesn't get up again.
Okay. So I guess she watched Alexander go screaming through there, so she's gonna take a page out of his book and run to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Because she doesn't have. Yeah, she's gonna use this for her last action. Oh wait, is that a
Oh, that's
free
a free action.
free action?
It's a
Okay.
free action.
So she does that. And she'll take a swing at this guy.
Damn. Damn. All right. 30, 35 damage laid into him. He is holding on just so barely. You run past, pray to Salandrith, swing your bastard sword down into this dude, cutting he's the things holding him together are just the spine, which you can very easily see. And he looks at you and he spits, and it's just sort of teeth.
Well, that's my 3 though.
All right. Yeah, he's like, damn the world with me or with the bugs. Guess you've made your choice. Komarov.
Looks like some sort of religious disagreement over there.
Yeah, kind of.
Speaking of which, that weird
So-
body on the thing. Clean
16
off
hits.
that table.
Nice. Let's do bludgeoning.
Yeah, 16 hits and 13 damage does him in. He's sitting there sort of like talking to Keitha, like as she's cleaved through his whole body, like holding himself up with the axe, just the spine sort of holding him up, and insinuating that it would be better for the world to be ended by the undead instead of the hive. The world, and to you guys, that sounds like insanity because the world shouldn't end at all, you know?
Yeah.
I like it
Um,
right where it is.
Yeah. And then just a volley of, I imagine it as a volley of small stones. Is it one big stone or is it a bunch of small stones?
I just like one big stone.
One
Like,
big stone.
is the table thing over here made of stone?
Yes, it is.
Alright, so I'll just rip a chunk out of it and just toss it out of him.
Yeah, Komarov hucks part of a table at this guy as he's like talking shit to Keitha, hitting him in the back, the little bit of the spine that is exposed. The only thing holding him together cracks, and he just sort of goes like, "Ah," and that's it. Just sort of a oomph, a gas sound, and it snaps, cutting him in half the final last little bit. Everyone is defeated. You guys are victorious. You have released the sort of survivors here.
Yeah.
They come up to you and are they recognize Katya, but otherwise are like very grateful. This is a good chance to take our break because you all leveled to 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
This has been a bit of a gauntlet,
Okay.
but it
Yeah.
takes you to 5.
All right. So we will take a 10-minute break. How about let's just be back at 2. So
Yeah,
more of a
50 sounds
15.
great.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Was that 5 minutes to eat and 10 minutes to level?
sure.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone be back at 2 and we will continue.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Exploded.
I hope it didn't explode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Mhm. All right. So you guys, you've all had your various class epiphanies. Maybe except for Katha, but she'll get hers as time as the day goes on. So, so you guys showed up here like sort of between 10 and noon, and now it's more like 5 p.m. Like you guys have been in there like hanging out after fights and like doing some investigating. Um, um, cool. So, Casey, do you remember how much money Stardon offered you guys for the job? I forgot. Dang. All right. That might be something. When you get back to town, I'll say he pays you, and we'll handle how much it literally is, maybe between games. Because I'll just have to go through the older videos. I forgot to write it down. Okay. So you guys are in the belly of this thing now, full of the actual corpses that are no longer moving, and the sort of exploded remains of a bunch of these Smertzucks. And you have recovered another 6 people. 2 of them were the ones that fought. One of them comes up to everyone and shakes their hand. It's this sort of like younger human man, sort of dark curly hair and like bad facial hair. You know, like someone who's like, it's just sort of patchy and he's just letting it grow anyway. And he says, "Oh my God, I'm so glad that you guys showed up. So you're Katya's here. Do you start on send you guys?" Oh man, that's so lucky because like I thought we were boned. So a lot of people are dead though. There was like there were like 15 of us sort of originally, and now I think there are um 9 including me. And that's including the 3 people you got that are actually infected that you sent outside. Or did you leave them in that room in the cocoon? Yeah. So actually, with that, he's like, "There's just 6 people here. It's me and the guys over here. A lot of them are Varst. And they all seem various degrees of like beat up. Like they were definitely just sort of shoved into the storage area that is now flooded. It looks like they burrowed a hole from the shallow sea into this place and came in through the storage room. Brinston is like, "Yeah, it was crazy. We were like organizing the crates, getting ready for another pickup, another shipment to go out, and then they just started flooding out of here. And we didn't have enough. We couldn't bind all of them, you know. And the ones we had bound, like all of a sudden, like snapped out of it, started fighting with them. It was terrifying. It was the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life."
Hmm.
Any questions or comments for this? Now the leading officer here is just sort of this early 20s, late teens human boy. Hey man, I signed on to a crew and I'm trying to do right by them. Like I'm trying to climb the ladder, you know. So this is where they set me up. So now, and I guess now, I have climbed the ladder a little bit. I'm now the ranking member, right? And he looks around to everyone who's like way more hurt, and they're all just like, "Yeah, we don't actually care that much." He's like, "Sick. All right, cool. So success." Any questions for this guy who very much sucks?
Just so it's clear to me, so the Smertsuck burrowed underneath, or was it the dead?
Yeah, yeah, the zombies burrowed up from the sea itself, like into their storage room.
Mm.
So there are people in the storage room. Go ahead and Mike and actually everyone can make me a perception check just sort of during this conversation, because a lot of the stuff in the storage room has been like waterlogged and is destroyed. As far as like being useful.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Magnus doesn't
I'm
see
focusing on giving up my new
anything.
stuff.
Okay, you said perception?
Yes.
Nice.
Tivin and Komarov, you both noticed that. So a lot of these crates have been ruined during this sort of conversation with Brinston while you're all just sort of just trying to deal with him and get him to say anything useful. A lot of these crates have been destroyed, either trying to pry them apart and like get at food that was being stored and have not like, you know, touch and be in the water all the time. He explains that they've been in there for 3 days. And the zombie lord had been pulling people out and like one by one asking them questions and turning them into zombies, and then sort of um, he was asking like weird questions like what kind of cargo we were sending, things about people being sick. Like we have had a bunch of people like get sick over the last couple of months, but it's not ever been that big of a deal, like they sort of get the shits and then they get over it. You see one of the crates that's sort of been pulled apart still has a visible mark on it, and it is the mark of the Iron Prow, this sort of violent pirate series of ships that all go under that name. This appears to be a way stop for them in just the most dangerous place you could put it.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you often do business with this group? And you will point at the symbol on the box.
Uh,
Hmm.
yes. No, it's good. You're doing the leveling up that everyone else did during the break. um, he says like, oh yeah, they pretty much set this place up. Like I've never been on a ship so far, but same guys always come in. They sort of leave boxes, they take boxes, and they tell me, "Don't you goddamn look in that box." And I don't, because I'm again trying to climb the ladder.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Leoxandra comes over to Komarov and is like, he said people were getting sick, and we fought a bunch of dudes. Can we ask about where the Smirtzuk came from?
Well, I am guessing it is from these crates. And whatever contact they've had with this Iron Prow, it doesn't hurt to ask. Hey, you, small man. What? Well, do your guys get sick from handling these crates?
He's looking at Komarov and he's like, did you call me small?
Yes.
All right. He like was just clarifying because you're so much shorter than him.
Hmm.
He says, yeah, I don't know if it's from the crates necessarily, but like sometimes some of the sailors stop off, like they were sick when they got here and they were sort of just like, they traded out people, sort of like sort of a medical leave, they'd sort of camping out for the next shipment, see if they could pass over whatever they got going on. Sometimes they take a little trip up to
Hmm.
Zanqualtch and come back, or sometimes they get picked up there because like got ships everywhere.
So, no games of chance, like how many bugs can you hold in your stomach?
How many bugs can I hold in my stomach? I mean,
Yeah.
I've eaten a lot of crickets, but I think if I ate more than like 12, I would get sick.
Hmm.
You know,
Crickets
like
are
I
very.
think that
But that wasn't
the
the
crickets in the
games
jungle
these
are really
sailors
big.
played, yes?
The crickets in the jungle are like burritos. um, it's like they're really good. You sort of got to get the guts out of there, but then you can season them, cook them up. Just like sort of like you just feel like you're eating beans. Um,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, somebody asked a question and I was talking.
But, the sailors did not play this game with how many live bugs can you hold in your stomach.
Oh, that's like, all right, make a deception check.
Sure.
Yeah, this guy's dumb as shit. He's like, oh, maybe I don't want to get on a ship. Maybe I don't want to get promoted. That sounds. I don't want to play that. Is that like a rite of passage? Is that mandatory? Do you know?
Those affected by the smart suck might have strange games, like how fast we can infect you with our evil hosts.
Actually, that seems like a pretty common game after the week I've had.
Mhm.
Because the guy with the axe was also all about that. It's just more oogly moogly magicy way than the other way. Um,
And then he'll turn to Alexandra and say, "Do you think you can, like, reach in, see if he's got any in him?"
Alexandra sort of like puts his hand on over his eyes for a second. He says, "I will medically examine everyone here. Keitha, would you help me?" And Keitha, Alexandra will just give Keitha the help action. You get a +2. So you can sort of examine these 6 people. No, just one roll. We're just doing a general. Yeah, 20. So with a 20, you're looking at these people, and none of them look like they have. They don't show any signs of the Smirtsuck infection, or like inhabiting. I don't know if infection is right for a parasite. I guess. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. So none of these guys are showing any of those signs. They look like they were like they're just hungry and tired, and they've like been in knee deep water for 3 days. Like they're sick, but they're not infected in that way. Like the 3 people in the cocoons. Definitively, the 3 people in the cocoons were like being stored. They're definitely infected, but these guys look like the zombies just beat them up and then shoved them into the hole for later.
Mm. Okay.
And then he sort of continues on. He's like, "Yeah, so do you have like a full? I don't think we're gonna be able to stay here anymore. So do you have like a big wagon for the 6 of us?"
If you think skinny thoughts, you can probably fit.
Yeah. Katya is sort of like, I mean, there are less things on the wagons than when we left, but we were going to leave a lot of things here.
Mhm.
So it's pretty full. No, we will keep the cargo and you. She puts like she's got like she's like big, way bigger than this kid. Just this big female brawl with her like clawed fingers. Just one finger into his chest. You can walk. You seem just fine. And then she starts sort of trying to gather up whatever she can and like helping the other people. There's one more human, and then 4 Varst. And then the other 3 in the cocoons are all, I think they were all Brawl.
Hmm. How many crates have the iron prow symbol?
So now that you've seen it, it looks like now that you're looking for it, now that you've seen like the full one on the side, like a lot of them have been torn apart. Um,
Mhm.
but it looks like almost all of them that are marked with that. Basically, it's either an unmarked crate or it's marked with the iron prow symbol. I'd say like 1 in 10 of a full crate you can find has that symbol on it, but the other
Mhm.
ones don't have any markings at all.
I just want to open one of the intact crates with the symbol.
All right, go ahead and make these are also just destroyed in water. I don't. Is there a skill associated with your kineticist abilities? Because you could use that instead of athletics if you would like.
Um, not really.
They're
And
all waterlogged. You could just sort of tear them apart.
yeah, and oddly, both earth and water are associated with athletics anyway. So
Oh, okay. There you go. That's fair. So what I'm going to say with a 10 is that like you do get it open, but everything in there is ruined, and you ruin it a little more. But it
yeah.
doesn't look that different. You're looking at like empty bottles that probably had things in them that are now sort of just full of seawater.
Mhm.
It looks like pretty regular stuff you would have on a ship, and then like series of weapons that are now sort of ruined.
Okay. So, because I'm just looking for like, eggs, bugs. I don't really care about any of the other stuff.
Heads and bugs. Um, Go ahead and make so. Komarov is in there, sort of rooting through all of these ruined crates. Does anyone else wants to sort of search? You've not searched this last room or the room that the Smirtzuk and the burglar were in. So if you guys want to go, sort of search through those rooms while Komarov is searching through this one, go ahead and give either a skill check that you think would be applicable, or just a perception check.
I'll do detect magic to try to see if there's any new magical
Yeah,
presences in this area.
les perceptions.
Magnus, you do find, oh my gosh, you do have one sort of magical aura in that back room.
Okay, I will try to pinpoint where it's at then.
Um, Tivin, you're looking through this room, and there's a lot of it has been sort of like rooted around and has some acid damage, but the room is full of like papers. It looks like this is where they did like negotiations or anything. Like the other room was a full library. It had like books in it. This has um like contracts in it. Mhm. Yeah, you see, like it's always a 3, right? Right?
Mhm.
Mike, Magnus, the item is sort of buried. It's sort of like in the desk, sort of like this is somebody's desk, probably the guy that Katya had identified as being like the leader of sort of this stop off. Um, you're feeling it through the wood, and you can sense it through the wood because wood has it doesn't block the aura as much. You find this like crazy, like the green sort of jagged dagger.
Interesting. Let's see. I think I do have. Yeah, I will do read aura for it, and then I will try to identify it.
All right. I think any knowledge will work on this one.
I'll do Arcana because it's my better one with the +2.
20 works. This is a serpent's dagger. It's a +1 striking weapon that you can once a day poison someone with.
Nice.
Interesting.
It just sort of this thing was just sort of squirreled away. Piven, you find some papers that you find what it looks like a journal.
Right. Um, what language is it in common or?
It's written in the Brawl language.
Oh, then uh, we have Brawl with us, right?
Mhm.
Yes, yes. Katya's
Is,
Brawl and
is-
then Leoxandra's Brawl.
yeah. So Leoxandra is the one that I would trust So I'll bring it to him.
Yeah, so he's going through this and he says like this is sort of like the ledger you keep that's real, and then you have like your fake books if somebody comes and checks you at port. There are lots of references to the old witch, but the word here is hard to translate. That's not how we would say it. And there's a sort of a way later in the journal, it starts talking about people that keep getting sick that had been on that route. And some of them left and never came back, and some of them just sort of got over it and went back out to sea. And there's not a location listed here, but it says it's in the port listed here is the Brol port. So it's a lot more north than here. Whatever that route is, it's pretty long. And there's like a little mark on it on all of these pages that he's like, he brings it over to Magnus actually. Magnus, go ahead and make a you've got underworld lore, right?
Correct.
Ooh.
Does everyone know how shady you are? Because Alexandra might not know to ask you specifically.
Magnus is like,
Huh?
I'm looking over his shoulder.
I don't
No.
know, but like I've been able to like identify things that were like underground and when we've been assisting things. So maybe possibly may know a little bit that at least I know some knowledge of it.
Like, Komarov just thinks you read crime novels, and you're like, oh yes, I know all about it.
That's fair.
That's really
Jibin
funny.
does not care.
Magnus, you identify the symbol. It's a code word, and the symbol means live cargo. So it looks like they were taking something live to this old witch, and then people that came back would often get sick.
Interesting. Live cargo.
But the whatever the like cipher or like the shorthand here is really hard to understand. You don't have a concrete location for where they were going. You just know it's in Brawl,
Okay.
which is a very broad area.
Yeah.
It's a third of the map.
Hmm. Hmm.
There you go. Good note. There is a you should all have access to one of these notes because I know that can get lost in the chat. You should all have access to this handout called Other Stuff that you can take notes in.
Oh yeah, I forget that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's at least on the app and we can go through that. So I imagine over the course of this time, so you find this sort of manifest / journal from who this other guy who was killed by the Smirtzuck and sort of like used as material for the cocoons. And then Magnus finds this sweet dagger. Oh, and just to clean it up, the Zombie Lord has +1 striking, great axe, and a silver symbol of Hrothgar worth 80 gold.
Hmm.
And so as you guys are gathering up and leaving, what Leoxandra's sort of like carrying as much as he can as far as like the supplies for these people that are sick and like sort of helping them because they're sick like just dehydrated and waterlogged and like they've got like sea parasites on their flesh that are just sort of they're not going to have the worst time getting rid of it because now they're not in the water and they're not fish, so they're not supposed to be there anyway. They just sort of came up through the hole. He's sort of like So what do we do with the people in the cocoons?
Are they salvageable? Savable? Savable?
Cool.
Yeah, people can get over it, but the only person you've seen get over it was someone you would have identified as like being pretty strong and hardy. And even then, he bailed. He just left.
I mean, dwarven
taking
mentality would be put him out and mourn the loss instead of worrying or basically call the plague, I guess would be a dwarven concept. Like it
ta-
sucks. Sorry, but it's for the greater good.
taking them back might give more answers on what exactly the Smertzek are. Or how they work beyond what we know. Mhm.
Yeah, because so the the cleric of it's the week that it's gonna, or it's the like 5 days it's gonna get back to Zanqualtch. That's gonna be sort of rough.
Mhm.
So they're not very far along. Actually, give me either an occultism or another medicine check, because you're sort of like less pressed for time here.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Give me an occultism check as you're looking at these
Oh.
people that have been in the cocoon, either occultism or medicine.
Do we have to be trained?
For this, yes.
Alright, that's okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, yeah. So they're not that far along. Geatholth, there's something about the cocoon that looks like it is, because you know how long these people have been here, and you know how fast sort of the insects can grow, and you think the cocoon is sort of a natural end step to this, but this wasn't a cocoon made by the thing in it. This was a cocoon made by one of the warriors that you had fought. You think there's something about whatever this cocoon is that has slowed things down. Like these people were set aside to be taken somewhere. Potentially. Dealing with it now that you're not in danger, it's sort of just really annoying because it's like a sticky resin that the more you sort of deal with it, it hardens up. But you could like, throw some blankets over them and roll them around. It is so you have plenty of time to figure that out. But you think there's something about the cocoon that slowed down the process, like the Smutzerk that was in here was like, we need these guys to not hatch yet. All right, go ahead and give me uh well, we'll call this a group check. You can use either athletics or craft. This will only determine how long it takes.
I have a who's rolling? Okay.
Everyone can roll.
Oh,
Geatholth murders it. She's doing so well.
would the DC be lower for crafting versus athletics, or is it the same DC?
It's the same.
Alright. Then I'll use the higher. Well,
Okay. But between the crit and the other 3 people passing, you are all able to. Magnus sort of creates like a stretcher, and then the other 2 are able to sort of lift all of them off of the stone wall in the water to get them onto that without having been like sort of adhesed to each other. So you've got the 6 survivors and then the 3. I guess they're survived still. You have 9 survivors. 3 of them are in these cocoons, and you can start heading out. It does not take very long because you succeeded. But it is sort of getting to nighttime. But Katya is like, I don't want to be next to the sea anymore. we we will go now, before anything comes back out, and just sort of watch your footing. Maybe keep torches for those who are walking. And then she points back at the kid, Princeton, and he's like, I'm good. I came out of that totally fine comparatively. Yeah, and let's do one last set of survival checks. This one will be a little harder because you're starting at night to get to Zanqualtch. Or I guess it's harder because you have extra people.
All right. Hey, Keitha.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm pretty sure this path is made out of stone. Yeah, that's
Don't trust
dirt.
it. That is fake stone.
Ah, fair enough, fair enough.
You go over and you pick them up, and they're all just little crabs. They all skitter away. And somebody cobbled this path. Um, like in mud crabs from Skyrim. Yeah. So you guys.
Mhm.
On Christmas Island, there are like trillions of those things. Oh, there's so many. So many. I love crabs. I think crabs are fascinating. I read about crabs. I watch videos about crabs.
The
Yeah, so
carcinogenic. Everything's crabs in the end.
it's so crazy. It's very interesting. Okay, I'm not going to go on a tirade on that. Okay, you guys make it back to Zanqualtch just like one day later than you normally would have, because you weren't meant to stop for like a full 5 hours. You're just supposed to unload. And you've got these other people that have sort of been slowing you down. So you show up in the city a little later, and you come up to these sort of guards that are like, it's not really a gate as much as it's just sort of a check-in. It is sort of like a halt. You show them the paperwork of, like, legitimate merchant trade stuff, and they let you in because I don't think it matters that there's just a bunch of people with you. This is a pretty open city where a lot of people come and go all the time. So you come into the city, and Katya is like, we're going to go check in with Stardon, tell him everything that happens. She sort of gestures to what I think is like a covered um, cocoons, and she says, I don't want to deal with this. Is this you guys? You do this? uh, yeah, so you guys can do that. Is anyone deviating from that? Or are you all going to hang together?
I think we'll be together.
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
go
stay
with the
together.
main
I
group.
don't see a reason why we would
Mhm.
separate.
Yeah, so you guys all head to the Temple of Geatholth to sort of talk to Kritok, the older Varst, sort of this poorly colored, unfortunate looking Varst, older Varst, comes in. He's like doing again. Nobody really worshiping. Sort of, it's just him and like a couple acolytes doing like rituals and like repairs on the altar in the church. And he comes in and he just sort of starts with his normal like, "Welcome to the Church of Geatholth. What can I do for you? Oh, hello. Uh, I thought you had just sort of moved on. What can I do for you all?" You have to painstakingly like pull the cover off of these cocoons because it's like adhesed to them. And his response is, "Hot damn, what is going on there?" He gets in there, and he confirms a lot of what you guys have seen. He says these people are really sick, and they're sort of in a coma, in a that
Mhm.
oh that is a word. I didn't know that word. Now I do. That does fit.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you know? What happens to them? Have you explained everything to him, or were you cagey about it? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. You just sort of looked gross. You just was sweaty. Um, yeah. So he's like, I think I can help them. I will need to sort of. No, I've got the juice to try this. I can try. Sure. Um,
You are going to juice them?
I
Mhm.
mean, what else do you do? He pulls out like some wine. He just starts throwing it on the adhesive. He's like, it's part of the ritual for remove disease. Um, so he's like, I will absolutely take care of these people. You've done me a great service, and I actually never ended up casting the spell for you at all. You returned my acolyte, the human Heli, who had been 8 months pregnant and is now given birth, um, to her child, who is also a little scary looking. He's got weird eyes. Uh, he's got weird eyes. He's a little scary looking, but otherwise, he's a totally normal human baby, and that was fascinating for me. Someone who doesn't have that sort of experience because Vars lay eggs, and I've never successfully been a mate with anyone. He looks off into the distance. um, and then he's like, so I do owe you, and I can try to help these people. Is there something more specific you want out of me? Oh yeah. Oh, from the thing you explained about the exploding into uh, in beetles, insects, sort of that. Probably right to probably right to play it safe.
Yeah.
Wild. I can't think of a lot of things that do that. Um, yeah. So, does Kathon know who the guard is or the structure of the guard here? Yeah. Yeah. That's
You will want many guards in case they turn into bugs and kill you.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and do either diplomacy or society to try and find someone to negotiate and give the rundown to.
Mhm.
That's pretty good. Um, so you are able to talk to one of the guards and convince them that you do actually need to talk to someone with rank. They don't take you all the way to like the person in charge of what is a fairly large city, but they take you to like their ranked officer who is like sort of in charge of like the routes of like one place. I imagine like, just like any large city would have like, oh yeah, there are 3 stations. Yeah, yeah, you're yes. So you are brought up to a imposing, brightly colored male Varst who introduces himself with the equivalent term of sergeant. I'm not going to make up a term for sergeant. Yeah. um, sort of, and he's sort of like got like this very large. He's got his stonewood club and just sort of like the sort of in between armor, since this place is not like a since more than Varst inhabit this place. He's got sort of like the metal bands, but then still mostly like the wood and like the more traditional stuff. But he does still have like the benefits of having more materials from other places that this place has available to it. And he introduces himself as Sergeant Brunsby. He says, "And what brings you here?" He's speaking the Vars language. If you have other people with you, he doesn't care if they can understand him. He sees another Varst and you're wearing armor, and he's like, "You're in charge." Yeah. Whole situation. Go ahead.
Whatever
Smirt
works.
suck. Is it smirt suck?
Yeah,
I've been saying it backwards all day.
it's okay.
Um,
It's a orcish word.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't speak Orcish. Anyone in the room can give me sort of like a perception for insight. K-Thought, you give me either medicine or diplomacy will work. Medicine will give you like better details, but depending on what outcome you want out of this, diplomacy will sort of be better. Yeah,
You said yeah, insight. Okay. Yay. Might as well.
nice. Um, uh, unfortunate. Um, did Komarov roll?
No, not yet.
Uh, so K-Thought, you're sort of stumbling over your words a little bit. That's that's a one. Um,
You're
It's
just
probably
exhausted
because
from
it
all the
sounds so.
traveling.
It's probably because it sounds so unbelievable.
there you go. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
uh, Komarov doesn't speak Varst. Is that correct?
Right. I have no
Komarov,
idea.
you're getting a read on this guy. Everyone else sort of misses this. There's sort of two things happening in his mind, and like reading the body language of him while Geatholth is trying to explain this thing, the first thing you see is that he sort of doesn't believe her.
Mhm.
But the second thing is sort of the more important thing, and it's that actually doesn't matter. He's going to look into it anyway.
Mhm.
You know, this is someone who's in charge of like sort of the area you're in, like the Temple District, like the densest district, just on any given day, of like protecting it. And you're telling him something dangerous is there, and it's like this crazy impossible thing. But a bunch of people, and none of them are the same ancestry, showed up, and they're all like sort of sitting quietly while the discussion is had. And there's something to that sort of moves him.
Mhm.
The thing you see is that if it's true, he does not look sympathetic. Like, if he finds out this is true, which he does not think is the case as of now, he might
Mhm.
just light these people on fire and call it done.
Okay.
Komarov's the only one that gets that.
Mhm. And Komarov will just think, good, he will do the right thing.
But yeah. So, K-Thought, sort of the thing that you get out of, I'm not going to make it. This is not because it was a critical failure. This is just sort of because it was a failure. He tells you he'll look into it on a day he has time. Like, so he's like definitely going to look into it. You can trust him on that. He writes it down. Or he like makes an official note of it, but he's not going to run and take care of it right now. He's like, I will look into this. You've come and you've warned me. You seem to believe it. I'll look into it, but I don't believe it. So we're gonna put that off because it's like the end of the day, and I've got other things going on.
I do feel like it picks someone.
It feels like someone has like the shit every time, and it's not like which is the weird thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's probably other.
Yeah, he gives you like every official declaration and notice, the sergeant, but he's like on Wednesday, the equivalent of Wednesday. Yeah, yeah. Mm, mm, mhm. I think it's a roll, but it's not indicative of competence. It's indicative of luck. Like, are they in the building? So go ahead and roll a religion check, and if you get over a 15, they are there. If you get under a 15, it's just too late in the day. They've already gone home, and they're not going to give you like personal effects without proof of like real danger. 26. They are the one that greets you. Um, I who what kind of person would be in charge here? Yeah, probably it's not an orc. I'm just gonna. It's an elf. It's this sort of elf with like hair that looked like it might have been like not red the way the twins on the Saint Caprice was, but like sort of a strawberry, and now it's going to gray a little bit. Sort of an elf in the middle age. Oh yeah, the High Priest Mari, Mahre. So it's got sort of a accent in it. Um, she and she's sort of got she's sort of got an accent that's like between the local accent and like what you would expect from basically a worldly accent where it's like it could be a lot of things. She says, "Oh, a wandering champion. What can we do for you? It's so rare for you to stop in the large cities." I she believes you. You crit on the religion check. You found the right person. She's got time on her hands, and you're like decked out like you're on a pilgrimage. You are literally on a pilgrimage. So she's like, I think I understand what you're coming from. So these people are in danger, and that puts everyone else in danger. Is that because people are looking for them? Is this sort of like a are you are you housing fugitives that are looking for redemption? Yeah, you sit down, you give her the whole rundown. I feel like Keitha's so frustrated that it's probably like a lot of ranting, and uh, she's sort of being really comforting, and she's like talking to you about like doing the whole like actually a bishop at a church, and you're like just dishing, and she's like, it's okay, I understand. That does sound hard. That sounds really hard. I'm sure this will all pass though. Um, so you give her the whole rundown. You tell her. So you don't know how Sergeant Brunsby might respond to this. Komarov didn't say anything. But Mari is like, what? How would you like me to respond? Like, are you looking for magic? Are you looking to put them into protection? Are you looking for resources? We've got rooms here for sort of travelers that are in. She sort of looks around, is like in looking for redemption. Um, Potentially running from an old life. Would it be more specific than is eminence too much? I'm just trying to. How else would you address eminence? Maybe just because this is like a larger city, this is like a big temple of a more popular deity. Um, this is somewhat, yeah. Like I think grace is like for nobility, and eminence might be more about like that feels more religious. Yeah. Yeah, so she is absolutely not a natural creature. Does Katha have? I forget everything you guys have actually definitively figured out. Does Katha have like between the conversations between everyone, different characters and like checks you've made? Do you have like an idea of? Do you have a theory in character?
And Komarov knows that they aren't natural here. He did a really nature check a long time ago.
Oh, you're the one.
Hmm.
Yeah, they Komarov knows they are outsiders from Majia in a way that I don't think you necessarily understand, but you're like that's not part of the life cycle, and it's not demonic, which is the other thing you would understand. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
They probably have the terminology alien, but it probably doesn't mean the same thing like we would consider. Because
yeah.
extraplanar and extraterrestrial would also be alien, but they probably have different vernacular for it.
Uh, yeah. So she's absolutely willing to help you. Did everyone else come in here? Or is everyone else sort of like? Because this feels like it would have had to have been like a very long conversation. In a
I mean,
Yeah,
place.
is it a conversation we could have had over like dinner?
Potentially, I I don't think K-Pop was like, take a walk with me and let's go down to the restaurant.
this sounded
But
like Keitha's personal quest, so Komarov was going to go see Stardom.
yeah, because you guys have like money to collect, and you have collected some items that you could either like move some runes from, or the just sell.
Hmm.
Um, because you've got like a bunch of +1 weapons, and then a striking weapon, and then the fee collection from Stardon, the sort of heavier set tradesman shipping person. What do you call
Hmm.
that? Whatever. he handles There you go. Yeah, caravan manager.
Hmm.
He manages them. But yeah. So does anyone else sort of Kathar goes and has like a religious consultation, is asking for help. Does everyone else want to sort of just go take care of your like stuff? So there's not a lot of room in the Temple of Geatholth, but Kritok will let you stay there. It's just lame.
Hmm.
No, it's fine.
And do some of us want to
Piven
go and try to
definitely has
sell
to like,
some of this extra equipment?
yeah, can discuss the runes, weapons, the equipment that we found. Tiven needs to spend some time with crafting to repair his shield and his armor, and he'd be willing to offer that to anybody else.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Tivin can run sort of maintenance on everyone's gear, which for him is a mechanical thing, but also like just for stuff wears out that is not necessarily represented mechanically, and you can still like use craft to repair that. You know, putting more leather on the bottom of your boots and stuff like that. Um, Mike, you said you wanted to sell some stuff. Like, is there anything you guys are definitively keeping?
I was thinking of keeping the serpent dagger.
I mean, as a rogue, go right ahead. We haven't gotten any armor runes yet, have we?
Not any armor
No.
runes. You have 2 +1 striking weapons, 2 +1 weapons. Um, And if you, depending on who needs what, you can sell some of those off. I know you have a handful of potions, and then you have just like a couple things that can be turned into straight gold, like the silver symbol of Hrothgar.
I know
And then
Kate
you have
definitely
that.
strike. Who? Give me 2 seconds. My brain just went. Kormarov can't utilize them at all, right?
It's not that he can't; he just won't.
You know,
Well, but you don't. You can't use striking on your
It's not
kineticist
on
stuff,
no, he
my
gets something
Kinesis
else.
stuff,
right?
but he is Ranger, so he can use weapons. He just won't.
Oh, and that's fine. But
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
purpose of this conversation,
Oh, okay,
I'm
yeah.
trying to
Nothing
decide who's. We
helps.
have 2 striking weapons. Obviously, the bastard sword or bastard sword should get one for sure.
Yeah.
And then Mike has sneak attack. Technically, would it apply? Striking would apply to my Everstand stance. So
I believe so.
2d8,
It's still
1d8.
weapon damage.
You
Yeah,
put striking on your shield boss.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you can do that.
So I don't like to claim because obviously I want the first armor rune we get. So I'm not
Mm.
mad if I get passed up for a striking rune until we get one. But I'm also trying to be agmatic. So if Mike gets the dagger, which is great, Casey's for sure getting one of the strikes. It wouldn't be if what's his bucket was Fred's character was still here. I'd say he could get one, but I'm asking the party collectively, would it be offensive if I got one for my shield boss?
No, or that's what I was thinking is like sell it off to get you like the armor rune.
Yeah, I would also like to state I just went up to master for shields, so I now have a plus 11 to hit. And I got armor specialization from Guardian, so I have a 20 base armor class, 23 with the Fortress Shield. Just so we're on the same page, guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, okay, so it's sounding like we're going to keep both striking. We're going to put one on Keitha's weapon and one on my shield. Boss. My shield boss. I'm not calling you boss.
Yep.
All right, cool.
And Magnus is. Did Magnus even tell anyone he found this like poison dagger, or did he just sort of be like, "Neat,"
Now, he
and
just got a
take it?
fancy new dagger, and we're like, that's cool. You had it the whole time.
Yeah. You could use it as your like. Whenever you do telekinetic weapon, it just shoots out and then comes back to your hand.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Mm.
Can you? Are you? What is it? Eldridge something rogue?
Uh,
Oh, you're mastermind, right?
Mastermind, yeah.
Oh, so you don't get to add your sneak attack to spell attacks yet, or
Oh
at
no,
all.
I took the feat for it.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Eldritch Rogue only.
No, they
Eldridge
just
gets it
get
early.
earlier.
Yeah.
Oh,
They get it
right.
like at level 2 or something like that, and everybody else gets it
Yeah.
at level 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Magnus is a normal rogue and a normal wizard, and not a magic rogue.
I mean, he's both, but yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah,
By virtue of dual classing, your powers
Yeah.
combine.
no, yeah. Basically, is just like the best version of what that could be by the nature of not taking any half measures because you have 200% class.
So, I crafting and oh my god, what is this character's name? Magnus is a wizard, so we can together do the runes
Mhm.
reasonably, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to leave like in 5 minutes at most. So I'm just making sure that I'm on the same page in case you guys continue to play longer, which is also fine. But
Yeah.
okay.
And does Komarov need a gate actuator? Did you ever pick one of those up?
I will eventually, but that involves going to the orc tribes, and so
So we need to
the
make a
way
visit there.
that I think Justin and I set up is they're only available from the orc tribes,
That would make sense.
and I'm not comfortable going there yet, so we're living
Yeah,
without it.
Komarov has some like therapy that he's avoiding, and
Pretty much.
I
they're
must
really
go back and speak with Mother.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
And then, uh, like hand wraps would have been good, but I was like, it kind of makes more sense to me if the only way to upgrade his arms is to go back to the doctor. What's his name?
Dr. Philorn.
Yeah, the one I hate. They're his arms. He's the only one who knows how to work them.
Oh, is he your Winry?
No,
No.
Dr. Philorn's asshole.
Yeah.
Oh,
Evil Winry, yes.
evil Winry.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
good.
evil
Oh.
Winry. Yeah.
I was like,
Dr.
I wasn't
Philorn.
sure if you okay, you definitely understood what I meant when I said it. So
Yeah, I understood. But I was like, no. But then I'm like, oh yeah, so she was evil. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
what level do
Dr. Forlorn put the arms on him while he was still unconscious, and he also is the one that
Oh,
um,
he Edward
Minralfin.
Scissorhands.
Yeah,
Oh,
a little more like that.
oh,
Minralfin is
backstory.
the sent Dr. Forlorn to go collect the giants that you guys had subdued.
Okay,
Hmm.
yeah. Especially
Yeah, so
since
after you guys had cleared the danger, he came in with like his assistants and his equipment and took over the area and kicked you guys out, and that's when you left for Zanqualtch. Um, yeah, so you guys are handling some upgrades tonight. What was Komarov doing?
He was going to find Stardom.
Okay, you're going to pick up everyone's payout.
Mhm.
Okay, so you head to Stardon. Stardon has already been filled in by Katya about what went down. You walk in, and he looks like he's sort of sitting on a chair looking out like a window that's like not like a glass window, it's like a shutter. And he's like smoking this big, what, like the equivalent of what like a cigar would be. And he's like
Mhm.
taking a big puff and then like chewing on something as well. And you come into his office, nobody else is here. He's absolutely here like after hours and left the doors unlocked. Do you have Leoxandra with you, or did you sort of just leave him with the cocooned survivors?
It unless Alexandra wanted to stay with the survivors, I assumed Alexandra stuck with me.
Oh yeah, if you want him to go with you, he's there mostly for like emotional support. Um,
Mhm.
but you walk in and he's sort of just brutally staring out the window, smoking this like again the equivalent of a cigar. I don't know if they would necessarily be like tobacco. Um, but he looks over and he says, "I heard you had quite the month, particularly just like the end of it."
Yes, was not expecting to run into Smerzak so far away.
I don't know this word. And everyone is going to say that to you.
I know.
Uh, you
It is
explain it to him.
because it is new. I have made it up because I don't know what these are. And
Or
tells him about the death bugs generally.
so you're some kind of natural scientist now naming new species.
No, no one else decided to give them a name, so I did.
Fair enough. Straight up, you know. He offers you a cigar. um, says, um, he offers you a cigar, and he
Mhm.
offers. He says, "I would offer your friend a cigar, but I don't think he doesn't straight. He doesn't look like he could handle it really." And
Mhm.
Alexandra's like, "No, I'd actually prefer not. I'd actually prefer not to." So that's the correct
actually,
answer.
smoking kills.
Uh, actually, it's actually really bad for you, and specifically the stuff that like the Varst smoke is actually really more toxic to everyone else.
Oh,
The physiologies are not compatible in that way.
Mhm.
No, he doesn't say any of that. That might be true though. We don't know. Um, but he sort of has a moment with you where he like has this like moment. Do you accept it? Do you like take a light?
I hadn't thought of it before, but I think, yeah. Like, I just kind of think of the cliche peace pipe thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's a fairly common orc tradition. So I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah, this is definitely
commiserating.
more. Yeah, this is definitely more like that. And he sort of is like, uh, so basically he's having like this broody moment because of like the horror of what it is,
Hmm.
and he's go and make a perception check actually. Sort of
Sure.
give this guy a once over on like what's going on.
Yep, there we go.
Kamarov, this guy's really cool, and he just
Hmm.
offered you drugs. Like, um,
Yeah.
he
Well, he
gave you
offered the
drugs.
treasure. Yeah.
He offered you drugs.
Yeah.
um, yeah. So he sort of sits there, and uh, he's not trying to get out of paying you or anything. He just sort of wants to have this moment to level with you, and he's like, "So we already have in the contract a sort of it's like an NDA. Like,
Hmm.
you don't talk about like what we're shipping, who we're shipping it to, like those are things." And he sort of leans down so that you're like closer to eye, and he
Hmm.
says, "Can I trust that you will all hold to that agreement?"
I mean, we only really care about tracking down these death bugs. I don't even know what we shipped, so we moved boxes. That's all I know.
Good man. He slaps his big hand on your back, and he does offer you again. I'll have to go back. I've forgotten how
Hmm.
much money he actually what the end agreement was because Mike sort of like coerced him into giving more than the original offering. So I will
Hmm.
go back and I will put that in our Discord chat so you guys can properly
Hmm.
do all your upgrades and stuff between sessions. But he gives you the money. He actually looks at Alexander and is like, "I was a little disrespectful to you initially because you're small and you look weak. Will you make sure everyone gets their money? I don't want to be known for not paying people." And Alexander's like, "I will absolutely make sure everyone gets their share of the money."
He's the
He's
one who
watching.
understands money more than I do.
Yeah, he actually just hands Alexandra all of the money, and
Yeah, yeah.
Alexandra is like, "When we need things, you let me know.
Hmm.
I'll make sure we get that." Um,
Do you
and
uh do you know of the Iron Prow? Do
uh,
lots of business with them?
uh, you you miss the tension that he was holding before in this sort of like dimly lit room. The sun is like sort of down
Hmm.
over the water and just sort of like hard shadows. And so it's like just your eyes and just his eyes are lit up from like the light coming in through the shutters. And
Hmm.
you see now you can't miss it because you said it out loud. And he says, um, "I don't ask questions, and we never brought anything back. They handle that themselves. We just made sure their people were housed and fed and comfortable. Nobody else could ship out there." And I don't know if Komarov necessarily would know this, but
Hmm.
Katha and Magnus definitely know that like he's got two sets of maps. One of
Hmm.
them is the route you took, and one of them leaves that last stop off. He
Well,
says they are not people you want to cross, and as far as I am concerned, and the people that I deal with are concerned, you've done everyone a good turn here.
mhm. I would suggest you and your friends stay away from them. From what we found, they may be responsible for moving these Smertzak around. That is how your people died down there.
Go ahead and make either a diplomacy or an intimidation check for me.
Sure.
Failing this will not have dire consequences. He's
Oh,
absolutely
there we
paying
go.
you. 28. His back straightens up, so sort of like heavier set, like very overly well fed. Varst is like, I will take your recommendation into advisement, and I thank you for you and your fellows' good work. You were professional, you were thorough, and you were effective, and the premium you charge was absolutely worth it.
Mhm.
Katya is competent. She would have died down there. And he sort
You're
of say again.
and Komarov says, and you are much easier to work with than any regular job in this city. Oh my gosh.
He's like, oh, the grind is so much, right? Like it's so much better to have like a project. You know, you do the round and then you come back and you get like a full lump sum. It's so much better than like just go to work every day. Like I go to work every day, of course, but like I get what you mean. You know, it's
Mhm.
better to have like a, you know, you went on a little adventure. It feels way better than like making like what 1,000 iron daggers and like you could sell each of those for like 3 coppers, whatever.
Mhm. Mhm.
Sucker's work is what that is.
Exactly.
um,
He has no idea any of this stuff is bad.
yeah. uh, so, so yeah, he just sort of starts talking his capitalist crap, where he's like, "Everyone's suckers. They don't know what it's like to make money," and the whole thing. He's like, artists are bullshit. And then he goes off on this little tirade. Um, is there anything else you want to say specifically to start on, or any questions you want to ask him beyond that?
No. That was all. Just if he had any information about the Iron Prow, because the only thing we know about the Iron Prow is everybody's like, "Oh yeah, they'll kill you," and I'm like,
Nope.
"Okay," and I'm like, "Okay," and then just warning him about it.
As Komarov and Alexandra get up to sort of leave after what I think is like sort of a jovial sort of, it starts really serious but then it relaxes and you guys are like, you're feeling pretty, like I wouldn't say it feels like being stoned, but you're definitely feeling an effect from this thing. I think it even is
Mhm,
pretty similar to something that Komarov might have had in the steppe, but like spicier.
mhm,
Whatever this stuff is like spicier. As you guys are getting up to leave, he just sort of says, I would be careful, in not in a way like, I think you've done everyone a good turn.
mhm,
The Iron Prow keeps tabs on their resources,
mhm,
and if they think you might be one, they will do what they can to tap that. So
mhm,
if you want to follow your advice to me, which is stay away, you might want to also watch where you're staying and who's at your back. Um,
mhm.
and then he goes to like looking out the window as the sun finally like fully sets over the water that he's looking out into.
I thank you for your warning. It seems fate has a different path for me, unfortunately. We will see what happens. And then he leaves.
As you're leaving, Alexandra was like, "That guy was super cool, right?"
Yeah.
Just his perception was your perception.
He's like,
Yeah, so
like 4 Kathas.
he's obviously a very successful man. Did you see the girth on him? Like
I
you never
know.
see a Vars that girthy. It must be a positive thing, absolutely.
To the Vars,
So
to like his girth is importance, do you think?
I don't think so. I think Casey knows more about this
Right.
than I do.
Well,
I know
it's an orc and a broll trying to guess about what Varst.
oh yeah, You know
No,
what?
and
I'm gonna have Leoxandra roll society. Nat one. He's like, absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
they keep growing forever, so obviously any amount of growth is positive, right? It means you're
Mhm.
successful. It means you survive.
And this cigar will probably last me 3 days. It is so big.
It's burning really slow. It's burning
Yeah.
really slow. It's like it feels like it's like there's leather in there, but like 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 they tanned the leaves of whatever that is. You guys where so are you guys all just gonna stay in the oh, temple?
Or how long has it been? Yeah.
Mhm.
I like my spot outside of the city, so I'll
Oh yeah,
just
that's right.
pick a new one.
Yeah, Komarov goes way out into the woods, or rather the fields.
And just tell the Exandra, see you guys at the temple of cocoon people in the morning. He can't remember the name of the temple. He's like, where we drop the cocoon people.
All right, well, find a tavern and inn.
So you have the reassurance of the High Priest Mari that she will help you out in any way. She knows Kritok. The two organizations have like a good communication between the two of them. You guys head to an inn. You guys head to an inn. And I think it's like a silver. I don't remember. I know I made you pay before.
Mhm.
Uh, there's a chart somewhere. I have it listed somewhere.
Yeah, just-
Now you know what? Now I've lost it. Oh no, here it is. Lodging for yeah, it's like 1 silver is a bed for one, and then meals is 3 copper for like a day's worth, or like a meal. Um, yeah, so 2 silver feeds you for a day and gets you a bed for the day. So
Yep.
yeah, you guys have dinner. You guys have the assurance that everything will be taken seriously, potentially with fire. But also, you've keyed in multiple clerics into this, and they probably don't want that to happen just based on who they are. Um, when you wake up in the morning, what is everyone's sort of goal for this as far as like I know you're wanting to look at the cocoons more, but are you going to go to the ship? Are you going to seek out the Iron Prow? Did Komarov tell anyone else about his conversation with Stardon? Leoxandra gives everyone their money.
yeah, so I figured I'd tell them in the morning. It was late.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. We'll meet there.
Um, so you guys are heading to the Temple of Geatholth, and you all meet up. Tivin is there, even though he's quiet. You've done your repairs. You've sort of done some upgrades. You've done some crafting, and you've gotten your payment from Stardon. When you come in, the Sergeant Brunsby is in a full like discussion with Mari and Kritok. He is yelling and he is pointing at the cocoons, which are still fully cocooned because Kritok didn't want to like mess with them. too much. He looks tired, like he's been up all night. Either looking over them or maybe he's cast all of his spells for the day already. And Mari is sort of like trying to calm this man down. And you hear him yelling, like, the tone is that, like, I thought this was going to be crazy person trash. And when I came in here, there was actually these, like, nasty cocooned people. So now I am inclined to think this is an emergency. I'm going to get fire. And Kritok is like, you can get, like, they're talking about it from, like, the medical side, and this guy's like, no, for a little bit panicking fully. And he's standing there with his like stonewood club as you guys walk into this sort of argument. Do you guys do anything as far as mediating goes?
If it's in Varst, no.
Because of the priestess Mari, she probably speaks Vars, but she is speaking in common.
Okay.
So at least part of it, like there's some like, especially in the heated moments, there's some Vars being thrown around, but for the most part, this discussion is in common.
Hmm. Also realizing that Komarov doesn't have much skill in talking nicely. So he just kind of shoves Keitha forward and says, "Fix this." Yeah. Hmm.
Yes.
Not really. Well, like, uh, I shared that information later. I don't know that we always tell people that they're not of this world.
Uh, yeah. Sergeant Brunsby turns to you and he's like letting you speak, but then he looks over at Kritok, who looks tired, who looks like he's been working, and he says, "What has your success rate been with magic?" And Kritok looks a little ashamed. Um, says, "I think this one got a little better. I think, I think there is like, there's just the spell is just like you need to be good at magic to do it." And there's just not enough people that can do it, and it's really persistent. Like you get one and then it just sort of comes back. And you will, and for you guys, this is a reflection of it being a virulent condition. It only takes one failure to go up a stage, but it takes 2 successes to go down a stage. And the counteract is just counts as a success. So basically he's been able to, and I know it's only been like the day, but he's basically been trying to use his magic to pull them from like stage 2 to stage 1, and he just didn't have enough for all 3 of them. And it's still a chance to fail. So he's looking at it like it's actually really hard. So he's now a little more aware of like what the danger is. Because when he examined Ravenspell, he had already sort of done it himself with everyone's help and like the help of like drugs and stuff. Hmm. No, yeah, yeah. His response is a lot like treating it. His response is a lot like when you have like a plague or something that can be passed on. Even if you don't burn people, you still like segregate them. And like his idea of your description of like they erupt and become a creature that is violent and that can infect other people is like so much worse than any sort of virus that he's talking about. And he's like I understand what you're saying, and I have a responsibility to the city to keep things safe, and I uh, you can go ahead and make any combination of diplomacy or intimidation checks. He is advocating that they are either destroyed or removed from the city, wherein you will then just have to cart them around again.
Is that really safe though?
Mhm. Does anyone else want to roll, or is Kathar gonna sort of
I
roll
can
this one?
assist that one. Let's see here.
Oh, there you go. Um, so you've dissuaded him a little bit. Um, and he sort of comes to the conclusion. He's like, I'm going to give the same explanation you gave me to, and he looks over at the clerics as like a medical professional. And if he reports to me that they get worse than they are now, then we are going to take it to the sword before there are other casualties. Basically, he's giving you like, so the cocoons, like, Ravenspell was making a check every day. These guys have made one check for like 5 days. So it slowed them down a lot. But you're looking at them and it looks like the cocoon is sort of deteriorating. So like the cocoon has a lifespan because you guys can't repair it. Like um whatever the Smirtzuck has, secretes to make this, like it would have been repairing it or to upkeep it or destroying it when it had the instinct to like let them hatch in whatever way. So they are deteriorating a little bit, but Sergeant Brunsby doesn't understand that, and I don't think Kritok really understands that. But you guys traveled with them, sort of through the mountains, and whether it's wear and tear or just like eventually it just sort of dries out. The result is more or less the same. So like the cocoon has slowed things down significantly, but it also has sort of a shelf life. You can't just like put these guys on ice. Um, And the other thing is there's still, let me double check this as far as like, and this is sort of a mechanical thing, so you guys know the stakes. Because again, like I felt like it was actually a little bit of an anomaly that Ravenspell passed it himself. The save for this is high, so like normal people can't really roll that well consistently. Um, so that's sort of like even with the medicines, there's chances to pass are still low, and with the benefit of the magic, you're just getting a chance to roll again. So it's I guess that's still advantage as far as all that is concerned. Um, but you have like this argument, and Sergeant Brunsby sort of he doesn't storm away. He tries to keep himself composed, but he leaves to like find someone to set to watch this. And they now that it's been like a week, they do look like they've gone up a stage, except for one, which is the one that Kritok cast like all of his second level spells on. Or no, they actually be third level spells. Yeah, it has to be third for diseases. Yeah. Sounds like they changed it a little bit, but they mostly just added options. They didn't really change the result of it. Um, so it's still better with magic, but the problem is these guys' stats are just not good. um, so the two clerics reassure you that they will do everything they can. Amari is a higher level cleric than Kritok, but even she can only do it so many times. And these are like the two, and she's like, I will absolutely go find some help. I'll find everyone I can. Um, oh, really? Once ever?
Hmm.
Oh, that is. Oh, they actually made it harder then. Um, oh, okay. So one guy went from. Okay, so one guy actually is better. He's just still in the cocoon. Because that was a success. And I think failing the counteract doesn't make the disease worse. So that's sort of like the benefit of it. I do think I understand this, so it means you can't just spam it. That makes it a little. Now, does that mean ever or per caster? Yeah, but you are right. It doesn't say it counts as a success. It says it reduces it down to one. So you got them here early enough that one of them is better, but the other two did get worse, and he did use all of his chances to try and do it. Um, but you have to use higher level spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. So basically, choose an affliction target.
So the base one can work
Oh,
on them. It just lowers the stage. And then
oh,
the
and
third
counteract would remove
level,
it entirely.
yeah.
Okay, that when I wrote all this out, that was before a lot of the remaster stuff happened, so I was basing it on the old version of the spell, which was like, yeah. Okay. you see the reflection of stat block? Did that says.
So, um, so the way I read it, it can only ever reduce it by one once. Reduce the stage down by one once. But higher levels, you have a chance to counteract and remove it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so
But
basically
yeah,
he burned.
that's confusing.
Yeah, that is confusing because I skimmed it, but we were talking, so I didn't want to like sit and do the gymnastics for it.
Hmm.
Um, so I'll delve more into that situation as it sits. Kritalk's burned out. Mari says she's gonna go try to find people that can help, and she will also do what she can. I will sort of between sessions determine whether or not that means make a ruling on whether or not it's by caster. So the one guy got better. The other two did fail. They got worse. So they're at stage 3. There are 4 stages to this thing. If you go to stage 3, that is when the mutation occurs.
Mm.
And if you are cured after that point, the mutation stays. Like instead of turning into bugs and like or one big one depending on like where you catch it, you then are just changed. So like that's when the mutation happens. And stage 4 is the actual like part where things burst open. You also know that when you saw the giants, they burst open, but they were like well into stage 4. They were altered even beyond what you saw with other things. So they were like not only taking like drugs and they had like better constitutions, but they had also been messed with by whoever they were running from.
Mm.
So there were like lots of layers to that one, which is why they sort of just blew up when they died. After having examined this so much, you were like, well, not only is a giant like way bigger, they can hold more things. That's why they probably wanted to use a giant, but also like the drugs and magical applications of whatever influence of the people they were running from were sort of changing what could happen within the Giants. So they were sort of just riding that tightrope as close as you possibly could have, with the one being good at like natural medicine. So smaller people sort of just sort of make one instead of also a swarm. So you're either a swarm or you're one, unless you're larger enough to encompass those squares. Just to give you guys the stakes on that. So
Mhm.
you guys are sort of coming out of the temple. You identify one of these guys as having been cured, and the other two have gotten worse. Mari is going to go find some help and consult sort of the other priests and priestesses of the temple. You guys come out, and standing outside, there is sort of this dark-skinned elf with like slicked back hair that looks painstakingly slicked back. Like it looks like he would naturally have curly hair, and it's been like layered back.
Mhm.
Um, and he sort of gets a bead on the party construction here with like who they are, and he like moves to interrupt the path you guys are in during your discussions, and he says, "I hear you have done my employers a good turn, and we are here to offer um, a retreat to receive thanks from the Admiral Dodge." And that is where we will leave this one off. I will go and find how much money you guys have. I'm sorry, and you can apply that money to whatever upgrades you wanted to do the day before. You absolutely had that, and I'm sorry I forgot that.
Mhm.
But this greasy elf tells you that the Admiral Dodge wants to thank you personally for what you've done for his organization.
Hmm.
Well, especially not the Komarov. He's like, oh, good. More thanks.
Thanks is good.
Since one.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a perception check. 16's not awful. This guy, what you're getting from this guy is that he is like you're looking at this guy and you're like, this guy's not like this isn't a threat as much as it is expected. Like people don't turn this down because it sounds scary, but this guy is just delivering a message. He lives Yeah, this guy's a messenger, but he lives a dangerous life. Like if you all flinched weird, he would whether yeah, I don't think you can tell with it. Yeah, you're like it's 50-50 whether he runs and he's fast or if he like thinks he could fight you guys because he's a hard ass. But this guy lives a dangerous life. He's like taught the way, like ready for anything kind of person. But you don't get like we're gonna hang you out of this. He's like, I was told to tell them something, and I think that is something that people would respond to. So I don't think it really assuages Keith being like this could be dangerous, but it is not like a death sentence. Not as far as this guy knows. But looking at him, he's like wearing like an open vest, like a lot of. Basically, he's dressed like Eliza and Eli, like elf pirates, but like everything's black instead of like being open. Like he just looks like the evil version of them, like in a Disney movie. Slick back hair, sort of a scar on his face. His vest is black and his skin is dark. It was like really, really heavy-handed. This is the nasty man who is like, "Hey, you wanna buy some meth?" And he's like, "My boss wants to say thank you for everything you've done."
Oh, friendship is magic, everyone.
This guy's like, having more friends and having bigger friends is magic. And he turns and expects you to follow. And that's where we'll leave it off.
Mhm.